Now that our economy has reopened, and to help the community, we've decided to offer a safe $29 AC maintenance. All Pure Air employees are supplied with gloves, foot coverings, and KN95 masks for your and their protection. Find us online at getpureair.com to schedule your safe $29 AC maintenance. Join me every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This morning, the Minnesota Twins are going to hold their first full squad workout. Yesterday, the Red Sox held its first full squad workout at JetBlue Park. Things looked a lot different, as you can imagine. Along with face masks, social distancing, and no fans in the stands, the players now train at different times of day.
I think on coaching staff, front office, those are older guys, guys that have a higher age clip than we have. You know, I know we're young, so sometimes we think we're invisible or nothing can touch us, you know. Just try to think on them before you do something, I would say, stupid.
The Red Sox will continue workouts the rest of the week without fans, but on Sunday, they're going to play the Twins at Hammond Stadium, and 2,400 fans will be allowed inside.
Well, come take a look at this. Stunning images from the surface of Mars as NASA releases first of its kind footage from its Perseverance rover. So this new recording shows the final minutes of the rover entry into the Martian atmosphere, its descent, and the final touchdown in what's called the Jezero crater. The new footage also includes first audio recordings of Martian winds. NASA also released images showing the mission's first panorama of the rover's landing location.
Safety upgrades to protect your children. How the Lee County School District plans to harden its schools and which ones are getting the upgrade. That's coming up at 6.
A significant decline in hospitalizations if you catch COVID-19. We're now seeing the first real-world data about these vaccines. Next in the Live Center, just how well they actually work.
Plus, ready for a getaway but want to be safe? New at 6 o'clock, the 10 best places to travel right now while avoiding the pandemic.
And slight rain showers moving out of Southwest Florida, where they are right now and where they're heading next at 6.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
Hello, I'm Dr. D'Amico. One of the most common questions I get is, how do we make a denture in a few days when other offices take a few months? Well, I have a denture lab on site. This allows us to create a custom denture just for you. You approve the color, the shape, even the position of all the teeth before you take it home. Have you ever seen a horrible looking denture? Well, it wasn't made in my office. Did you know that most dental offices send their dentures out to be made in other countries like Costa Rica and even China? So call me, Dr. D'Amico, 234-5284. That's 234-5284. Do you need dental implants? If you need one implant or a mouthful of implants, don't just go to any dentist. Go to someone who performs implant surgery every day. Don't have your dental work done without a second opinion, especially implants and dentures. So call or visit our website to see our current specials, watch some informative videos, and even see before and after pictures of our current patients. So go to dentistofnaples.com. That's dentistofnaples.com. I'm Dr. D'Amico and I want to help. 234-5284.
License number DN15639.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I'm an interior designer and I trust Rock Solid.
If you're looking for just the right countertops for your home, the choice is simple. Rock Solid.
I'm a contractor and I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
Whether you're a homeowner or a contractor who wants the finest countertops, choose Rock Solid, a company you can trust.
Rock Solid in the Pink Building, 2240 JNC Boulevard, Naples. Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
500,000 coronavirus deaths. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. By far more than any other country.
Remember each person and the life they lived.
President Biden held a moment of silence and a candle lighting at the White House.
The people we lost were extraordinary. They spanned generations.
He also reiterated wearing masks, social distancing, and the president urged us to get a COVID vaccine when it's our turn.
White House senior advisor for COVID response, Andy Slavitt, says shipments of vaccines have been slowed by winter storms, but they are catching up.
We now anticipate that all backlog doses will be delivered by midweek.
Slavitt says the sites are also being urged to extend hours to vaccinate what he calls an anxious public.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. The nearly $2 trillion COVID financial aid plan advanced in the House with a committee approval backed only by Democrats. It would provide more payments to Americans, extended and extra unemployment benefits, and a lot of money Republicans object to as either pork or a bailout. Fox's Mike Emanuel.
In the nearly 600-page bill, there's $350 billion for state and local governments. $35 billion for subsidies to pay Obamacare premiums. Congressman Jason Smith from Missouri is the top Republican on the budget panel.
The real reason for this bill is to send billions to bail out blue state governors and reward their harmful lockdown policies.
More Biden cabinet nominees have hearings today for Interior Secretary and Health and Human Services Secretary. For Merrick Garland, it'll be day 2 of his confirmation hearing. He told senators he'd be an independent attorney general.
If confirmed, I will supervise the prosecution of white supremacists and others who stormed the Capitol on January 6th.
Now, that deadly attack will also be probed at another Senate hearing this morning. The former Capitol Police Chief will be among those questioned. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News traffic.
2 crashes in Southwest Florida. First crash at Hart Road and Forest Park Drive. This is off the main line here. Just a tap on those brakes for the intersection. However, there is a crash at Orange River Boulevard and Sable Lane that's slowing traffic west on Orange River. Southbound delays as well, heading south of Palm Beach Boulevard. I-75 is still up to speed right now if you're heading to and from Lee and Collier. However, some wet roadways in Collier County. Make sure to watch that following distance. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Few showers will be possible early on into the day, but eventually they roll out, drier air moves in, and we finish the day with a lot of sunshine. Temperatures in the 80s today, tomorrow, where a few more isolated showers are possible, but nothing too widespread. Mostly sunny with those spring-like 80s for your Thursday, and even warmer as we look ahead to the weekend. Beach, pool, absolutely. Mixture of sunshine and clouds with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
How many client portfolios is your investment advisor responsible for? Is yours one of hundreds? Or perhaps your financial institution has just been acquired by yet another firm, and the team you've known for years is suddenly gone. At the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company and its division, the Naples Trust Company, our portfolio management team is local and care for a proper ratio of account relationships designed to give you the highest possible attention and an asset allocation that is best for you and your goals. Another key factor is that all of our employees are owners in the trust company through an employee stock ownership plan. So we have no interest in being acquired. And more importantly, we have a vested interest in seeing our clients as happy as we are. Are you ready for a better experience? Contact us at the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company or the Naples Trust Company. Visit sancaptrustco.com to discover the difference.
Not FDIC insured. All investments involve risk and are not guaranteed.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Want to see your loan options, adjust payments, and closing costs online in real time? Rocket can.
Hi, I'm Tyler McDaniel.
And I'm Brad McDaniel.
We're the second generation of Kenmark Air.
Along with our father, Ken McDaniel, we're celebrating 25 years of service in Southwest Florida. For the next 25 days, we're offering $25 service calls, $25 maintenance, and 25% off high-quality Maytag systems.
For our 25th anniversary specials, call Kenmark Air, 239-437-7040. That's 437-7040.
And online at kenmarkair.com. License number CAC 057163.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Hey there, my mic works now. Jake's got to push that button. It's not Jake's fault. It's because...
Why does he turn it off?
You know what? Did you turn it off or did somebody last night? All right, so Ian Hicken, Ian, who is Trey's producer, The Drive, Trey Radel, great show. Every evening, 5 to 7, and there's Ian Hicken. And Ian's, he's pushing buttons, he's putting up banners, he's making videos, he's creating new... channels on the mixing console. The guy does everything. And then sometimes he shuts my mic off. And Jake doesn't realize that is that...
Put us head to head in a 1v1 like board op. I'll win.
Listen, is there such thing as a board op battle?
Can we do that?
No, we can't because the audience doesn't know what you're talking about, and I'm not sure that they care very much at this point. But I'm not even sure if they care about the first 30 seconds of the program. I'm so sorry. Let's re-rack it and start it again. What do you say? Go ahead, re-rack it. Let's go. Here we go. Re-racking it. All right.
Fox News.
Yeah.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida.
That's right.
It's Daybreak.
Come on.
Now, here's the guy at the epicenter
Who's
of what's
that?
important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida.
Who?
Drew Steele.
All right, that's me. You can shut it. Just shut it down. Just shut it. Don't even fade it. Just kill it. All right, 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live each and every day, drewsteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's, YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, for the time being, at Drew Steele Radio. If you'd like to go there, that's fine. If you want to subscribe or do it, listen, I bring it as a service to you all because a lot of folks like to watch, and I just like to make that available to you, okay? So drewsteele.com, Steele with 3 E's, go to the website. I'm a little feisty this morning, a little worked up this morning, a little anxious this morning. Not anxious, maybe that's a bad word. Coming up in just 2 days from now, we will be live from CPAC. Thursday and Friday are our live broadcasts. We got a lot of fantastic guests, as you can imagine. Some surprises coming along as well. Each and every year, we always have a surprise. You never know who's going to be stopping by. And a lot of times, we do not know either. But it's always fun. And we know that the president, former President Trump, will be there on Sunday. So it's going to be an exciting weekend at CPAC. A lot of people now. By the way, I just have to mention this. And it's fair to say, CPAC, we talked about it last week. We kind of mentioned we might be there. This week, we're talking about the fact that the show is going to be there. Nice response, people getting excited about it. You know, the CPAC regulars and getting our place ready on Radio Row and getting all of this behind-the-scenes stuff together. And then the announcement of the former President Trump making a stop by CPAC and speaking there on Sunday. And everything changes, everybody. If you think there's no juice left in the Donald Trump tank or those that support the former president, boy, are you wrong, because all of a sudden it's like it's the hottest ticket in town. It was a hot ticket before, but now it is the hottest ticket. Look, there are going to continue to be, and this is going to be a theme today on the show. There's going to continue to be a battle. It's an us versus them battle. And I hate to say it that way because there was a time that Joe Biden was alive when dinosaurs roamed the planet, where politics was all about unifying, coming together as a nation. We're all Americans. We're not hyphenated Americans. We are Americans. You love this country. You're here in this country. You have made this country your home, whether it was generations ago, whether it was my family coming through Ellis Island in New York and making their way to New York and then eventually ending up here in Southwest Florida. However you have made it here in this country, that you love this country, that you want to assimilate into this country, and understand the Constitution and the rule of law and our constitutional republic. You all get this, right? This is not a place for somebody to land so that you can set up whatever rules you feel like it. You come here because, and you know all about this, that as Americans, that time to unite was there before. And now, because of the radical left, look, if you are someone who's a Democrat right now, radical lefty, a member of the media, and all the same, and you're mad about the fact that I'm looking at you when I say this, I'm going to give you examples today of how you are the problem. I hate to say it. I don't. Listen, the left in this country, for me, and maybe for you, and if you disagree, 239-479-5592. This is a monologue right now, but it's always open to a dialogue. We can talk about all of this. It's really easy to see who it is that wants to divide us. It's really easy to see who those people are that are claiming that one side is dividing while they are doing everything that they can to divide and have been and gaslight individuals to believe that you're the problem when everything they talk about against you is them doing it. Literally doing it. I hate that literally. I know, but it works. For example, if you want to go to, and we're going to get into detail at 8 o'clock, Zach Smith is going to join us from the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org, and we're going to get deep into the Supreme Court decision on the election case. A bunch of cases that were decided by the Supreme Court, and one of them in particular taking up the case challenging the Pennsylvania elections on November 3rd, and the former president bringing and others bringing this lawsuit challenging the Pennsylvania state court decision. And what was that decision? And let's be clear about this. Again, remember the theme for today. Today's theme is it's us versus them. It's those that want to destroy and tear down this country and the constitutional republic and the rule of law, and those that want to preserve and keep this country as awesome as it always has been, with room to dialogue and discuss about grievances or changes or things that you might have a problem with, as opposed to looting and destroying and tearing down and having no discussion or debate. Keep that in mind. What did the court decide? The court said that in Pennsylvania, a place where the state court, not state legislatures who are the individuals who make the laws in the state, but no, individuals like governors and departments and bureaucrats who made a decision after the state legally said, this is the way the election goes down, relaxing ballot integrity measures, including a move to extend the ballot receipt deadline during the November election by 3 days due to the virus. Let's remember what this was all about in Pennsylvania. Pretty cut and dry. The state, federal level, looking at all of this and saying, okay, legally, the state makes the decision on how these ballots and how your vote is counted, how the votes come in. Fundamentally, talking about the Constitution and saying, this is how this works. The state makes the decision. The legislature said this is how it's going to go down. And then after the fact, bureaucrats, governors, others came in with lawsuits saying that we can't do it because of the virus, we need more time, and without going to the legislature, who legally has the responsibility constitutionally, what ended up happening, they ended up making a decision that was outside of the legal purview, outside of it. It's so easy to see what happened. I show up on election day, my vote is good up until 7 o'clock, then polls are closed. You get to send a ballot in, and 3 days plus later, without signature verification and the like, somebody else, we don't know if there is a somebody else or not, gets to vote. How does that work? Clearly, constitutionally, my rights are being violated. How is it that I get cut off and that individual over there gets 3 extra days or 4 extra days and no signature? We don't even know who that person... Okay. For people with common sense, what I just explained is understandable. You got laws that are sit down. It's constitutional. These are the people that do it. Somebody came along and broke those laws, those rules. Constitutionally, they broke it. We want to go to the Supreme Court and say, hey, we got a problem here. So not only did they not take the case up before January 6th, not only did the Supreme Court say, no standing, so sorry, we're not doing it. Most people feeling like, how can you not take this up? This is part of your duty and responsibility. We need to solve this. But now the decision was that it's moot. The former president, Trump, and Pennsylvania's GOP urged the court to take up a review of the Supreme Court ruling. And it was Clarence Thomas, and thank God, and I mean that literally, thank God for Clarence Thomas, along with Gorsuch and Alito, where Justice Thomas was saying something that we've all been asking. How do you wait? How could you not even hear the case? Remember, the case before and this one never made it to even hear the arguments. Nobody has taken up a case to actually open up the books and hear the arguments. You keep hearing things like, oh, the Supreme Court already decided. No, they didn't. They never heard the case. No court has heard the case. And so you have Clarence Thomas who says, one wonders what this court waits for. We failed to settle this dispute before the election and thus provide clear rules. Now, we again fail to provide clear rules for future elections. The decision to leave election law hidden beneath a shroud of doubt is baffling. By doing nothing, we invite further confusion and erosion of voter confidence. Our fellow citizens deserve better and expect more of us. I respectfully dissent. The decision to rewrite the rules seemed to have affected too few ballots to change the outcome of any federal election, but that may not be the case in the future. This is something else that Clarence Thomas wrote. So for those that say, hey, listen, it wouldn't have been a big deal, it wouldn't have mattered, that's not the point. The point is, in the future, it could be completely different. And you would like for the Supreme Court to solve this issue once and for all. Like, hey, listen, what's happened, happened. The president conceded the election. Because of that, they're ruling this out to be moot. He conceded. There's nothing we can do, is what the court was saying, ultimately. But you didn't solve anything. What if next time it is as bad as we feared the last one was? We're just going to keep doing this over and over again? We're going to allow states to do this? And it was Justice Thomas say, how do we do this? How can we further confuse and erode voter confidence? Well, they did. If state officials have the authority they have claimed, we need to make it clear. If not, we need to put an end to this practice now before the consequences become catastrophic. So that was a big deal. I know somebody's saying, what did Trump concede? In the court's eyes, Trump conceded the election to Joe Biden. And so what we're trying to explain here is that this needed to be solved and the court punted it again. And the question is why? And why do we have constantly these disappointments, whether it is Kavanaugh or Coney Barrett? Why is it that we always have these people that we're told are the ones of virtue, the ones that we want to honor and protect the Constitution of the United States, and then they don't? And, I will make a broader point here, and it's this, is that how many times, again, this goes back to the us versus them. This is just us versus them politically and ideologically speaking. Nobody's calling for anybody to, fisticuffs or anything like that. You like that, Jake? Fisticuffs. Do you know what the word fisticuffs is?
No clue.
Look it up. It's not what we're saying. But the us versus them, those that are telling us, nothing to see here, move along, that in order to keep this republic together and the Constitution firmly implanted and our foundation, we need to know that there are individuals that are going to look and say, sorry if you don't like this decision, but it's the right one. And just because you're calling for destruction and looting and burning and anything else that you're claiming that you're going to do if you don't get your way, doesn't mean that you should cower behind walls that don't necessarily even protect you if we want to go that way, that we were told would never be breached. You know where I'm going. Again, so I always worry that when someone comes along like the former president of the United States, who ultimately wants to do the right thing by the country, ultimately is somebody who is not playing the politic game, not playing the Republicans' game, not playing the Democrats' game, is looking at this country and what's best for the country. And then somehow, because he's not an insider and plays the game, he's an outsider that doesn't play the game, that somehow the people in his orbit maneuver him in such a way that the people that are presented to him are not really who they're saying that they are. Does that make sense? I've always worried about that. I've always been concerned. It always seems that way. That, man, the advice that that president was receiving all the time since day one just seemed almost like it was a play. Like someone who could have gone outside of the purview of Washington, D.C. to look for the best and the brightest and those that cared about the country. But instead we're told, no, there's somebody that's on the inside that's just as good. Just as good. And this is who you need. Oh, no, not that judge. Don't make that pick for a Supreme Court judge. No, make this pick. This person. Oh, absolutely. Oh, that person to run that department there? No, you don't want that person. This is the person you want. Man, that always frustrated me. 239-479-5592. Yeah, we'll get more into this coming up. Also, after the break, this is something I want to play, the audio of yesterday of, if you heard the hearing there in the pick, the nominee for U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, confirmation hearing. Wow. Merrick Garland, I'm so glad we had a chance to actually finally hear the voice of Merrick Garland, as opposed to Merrick Garland should have been the next Supreme Court justice, and it's all everybody else's fault because fill in the blank, Merrick Garland. Well, finally we got a chance to hear him, and he's a hot mess. Hey, can I say that? Yeah, I just did. A white hot mess. And what do I mean by that? You should wait till you hear the audio of some of the answers that the individual who may be the next Attorney General of the United States thinks about things like immigration and domestic terrorists and who are not and what constitutes one and doesn't. It's not pretty. So we'll play that audio coming up. Maybe that's why I'm so feisty. 239-479-5592. Stay break 92.5 Fox News. DrewSteele.com, the website, if you want to watch. Steele has 3 E's, and, of course, YouTube and Facebook. You can go there as well at Drew Steele Radio. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Getting it right every day.
92.5 Fox News.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Facebook says it reached a deal with Australia to restore news to its platform after a 5-day shutdown. Australia was considering legislation to require Facebook and Google to pay traditional news media for content. The leader of Oklahoma's Cherokee Nation tells Car and Driver magazine that Jeep should stop using the tribe's name for its top-selling SUV. Jeep said the SUV name honors the tribe. Music mogul Jay-Z agrees to sell a 50% stake in his champagne business to luxury goods maker LVMH. No word on the deal's price, but a bottle of Jay-Z's bubbly will cost you hundreds of dollars. And stocks ended mostly lower as investors turned their attention to rising yields and government bonds. The Nasdaq plunged 341 points. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The corona pandemic and crushing stock market have many Americans worried. Is a recession on the way? Don't let fear take over your emotion. Join me, Alfie Townsend, for Saving the Investor radio show this Saturday at 9 a.m., planning for retirement in a turbulent world.
Is your car a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it? Would you rather be driving a brand new Nissan equipped with all the latest technology and safety features? Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer, yes, a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, we'll give you the original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Bring us that old Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Ford. We don't care where you bought it from. We don't care if you bought it new or used. Go to NaplesNissan.com. Pick out your favorite new Nissan model with Bluetooth, backup camera, and that new car smell. You can have it all today after we pay you what you paid for your trade-in. Don't wait. Get full details at NaplesNissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Trust. It's not a concept. It's a commitment.
Reliable and honest every single day.
At Wink News, we're committed to reporting the news that matters for you.
Thank you for trusting Wink News. This is a big story.
And that affects you.
We're coming to you live.
Because if we're asking for your trust, we will continue our commitment to be trustworthy.
The reason people trust us is the people that work here.
With 6 decades in the community, trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
An aspiring fighter trolled on the internet.
They made fun of my weight, said that I'm a pedophile.
But is he really a victim?
You say you have to have social media for your career. You don't have a career.
He's never had a fight himself.
Or is he living in a fantasy world?
This is big time to me. I've made it.
You are delusional.
I'm not saying I'm rich.
Yes, you are. You're flashing cash and sitting in a limo.
New Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, today at 5 on WXCW.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
When a client comes to our firm after an accident, we have the awesome responsibility of returning what was taken away from them. Loss of income and earning potential, past and future medical bills, pain and suffering, the loss of the enjoyment of life. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our clients don't seek charity, they seek justice. They're looking to have their life back and property restored. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about your legal rights. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Why wait for so-called one-time refund relief from big insurance companies when you can get the best prices and coverages all day, every day, all year round from Chapman Insurance Group? Hi, this is Brian Chapman, and my team is committed to finding you the most efficient coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm Alan with Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions. My 6 years of service to my country taught me a lot about integrity, trust, and getting the job done and getting it done right. I have integrated much of my Army training into the business. And I mean integrated. I'm actually standing here recording in my fatigues. I understand that it may seem that there are more pest control companies than bugs, but our company is very different. A lot of pest control companies are what we call spray jockeys. You see bugs and they just come and spray. You see more bugs, so they spray more. My team's approach consists of understanding what's causing the bugs to come in. Sometimes it's something as simple as caulking or patching holes. Spraying is not always the answer. If you're tired of the spray jockeys and want real pest control solutions, call us, Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions, today at 595-4867. That's 595-4867. Now serving Marco, Naples, Bonita, and Estero.
True relief for back and neck pain. Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Wink News traffic.
A crash in Lehigh Acres at Leonard and Noble Avenue is causing delays on Leonard. Reports of roadblock as well as injury here, and this is to the west of Gunnery Road. If you're heading westbound, go ahead and stick to State Road 82. Also, speaking of 82, we're nice and smooth heading all the way from Jaguar towards Colonial. So that's some great news this morning. But in East Lehigh Acres, the slowdown I'm seeing is, of course, on Columbus. We are very busy heading north of Milwaukee. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Few showers will be possible early on into the day, but eventually they roll out, drier air moves in, and we finish the day with a lot of sunshine. Temperatures in the 80s today, tomorrow, where a few more isolated showers are possible, but nothing too widespread. Mostly sunny with those spring-like 80s for your Thursday, and even warmer as we look ahead to the weekend. Beach, pool, absolutely. Mixture of sunshine and clouds with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Welcome to Mesame Medical Spa, a new concept in wellness, combining beauty and science. Their mission is to provide the latest non-invasive cosmetic procedures. Mesame Medical Spa is the only provider in Fort Myers to offer M-Sculpt. Just one treatment is equivalent to 20,000 crunches or 20,000 lunges. Reserve a complimentary consultation online at mesamemedspa.com. Mesame means my friends. mesamemedspa.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we understand Florida weather. With New South windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency for storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get the third free. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit savingtheinvestor.com.
There is nothing that changes as much as tax law. After all, there have been tax changes, stimulus dollars, changes on the changes, but they're all meant to put more money in your pocket. Don't make a mistake that could cost you thousands. Let EG Tax be your tax interpreter and guide. Come join the EG Tax family at their Naples office across from Tamiami Ford. Call 239-262-2009. That's 262-2009. Or click egtax.com. That's egtax.com.
It's Fred Kobe with Kobe Cooling. I was lucky enough to hear my friend Rush Limbaugh on his very first broadcast in Florida over 30 years ago. After more than 24,000 hours of listening to Rush, I feel like we're buddies. I've always been proud to advertise in his time slot because we love Rush Limbaugh. My father and I used to talk about Rush every day. It gave us some commonality, and I'll cherish those moments forever. We pray for Rush's wife, Catherine, and his brother and family, and we hope that God's healing hands finds them. And until we meet again, Maha Rushi, mega dittos from all of the Kobes at Kobe Cooling. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313.
Trust. It's not a concept. It's a commitment.
Reliable and honest every single day.
At Wink News, we're committed to reporting the news that matters for you.
Thank you for trusting Wink News. This is a big story.
And that affects you.
We're coming to you live.
Because if we're asking for your trust, we will continue our commitment to be trustworthy.
The reason people trust us is the people that work here.
With 6 decades in the community, trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
An aspiring fighter trolled on the internet.
They made fun of my weight, said that I'm a pedophile.
But is he really a victim?
You say you have to have social media for your career. You don't have a career.
He's never had a fight himself.
Or is he living in a fantasy world?
This is big time to me. I've made it.
You are delusional.
I'm not saying I'm rich.
Yes, you are. You're flashing cash and sitting in a limo.
New Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, today at 5 on WXCW.
Let Naples Shutter enhance your home's beauty and increase its value. From our legendary all-wood plantation shutters, made right here in Naples for over 40 years, to luxurious blinds and shades, to the unique island appeal of Bahama shutters, Naples Shutter has you covered with a lifetime guarantee and over 40,000 satisfied customers. Call 239-566-8161 today for a free estimate. That's 239-566-8161. Or visit naplesshutter.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. My name is Drew Steele. His name is Jake the Millennial. No, that's not that's not blue hair on his chin. That's actually his mask that is pulled down below his mouth because he's always got it ready to mask up anytime he's got to run to the lunchroom. What?
You know, that and people like to just bust in my studio and expect me to have it on, so.
Oh, well, good for you. See, you are responsible. They come in and they're like, hey, Jake, I got to ask you a question. It's more like, Jake, I got to ask you a question. And they come busting in and you're like, whoop, mask on. See, that's good. That's good that people in the building know that you're doing that and the powers that be. You're a responsible young man, and we appreciate that. Boy, again, that's the second time I went in a direction in this program that we started this morning that had absolutely nothing to do with anything. And I apologize for that. 239-479-5592. Coming up at 7:35, Kevin Derby, FloridaDaily.com. There's a lot of stories to talk about that have to do with what's going on in Tallahassee, committee underway, and a lot of decisions that will affect you directly here in the state of Florida. By the way, one story is that Nikki Fried has decided that the governor wants us to do things here in the state. One of them was to lower a flag to honor Rush Limbaugh. And Nikki Fried said, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to lower the flag, and none of my departments are going to do it either. So the governor was talking about this, and there was Nikki Fried doing what she does best, which is running to be the next governor of the state by defying anything and everything that this governor is doing, and the like. So we'll get into that story. How about that? Also, we're going to talk more about some of the Supreme Court decisions at 8 o'clock. We're going to get more into the Pennsylvania decision by the Supreme Court and how they could possibly do this, and even Merrick Garland. And wait till you hear some of the audio that we're going to play in just a second. Merrick Garland, the picked to be Attorney General. Finally, we get to hear Merrick Garland, the genius of Merrick Garland, speak, and really looking forward to that until you actually hear him and what he has to say, and then you realize this guy was going to be a Supreme Court justice. You should hear the things that he's talking about with regard to the attacks on the federal courthouses in the Pacific Northwest in comparison with the attack there on the Capitol on January 6th and what happened there. And I know, right, the insurrection. Sorry, got to use the right terminology. Josh Hawley asked the question, and we're going to get to that. Look, at least the good news is it's a crazy news day. It's a weird news day. There's a lot of cancel culture and stuff going on. But, Jake, the good news is at least we don't have anything outrageous or crazy. We're not talking about, for example, can you imagine if, like, Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen did a podcast? How crazy would that? Oh, wait, this just in. Who asked for this?
On the surface, Bruce and I don't have a lot in common. He's a white guy from a small town in Jersey. I'm a black guy of mixed race, born in Hawaii. He's a rock and roll icon. I'm not as cool.
I was trying to remember the first time we actually met. Probably was in 2008 during the campaign. You came, was it in Michigan or Ohio?
I have no recall.
Boy, that sounds riveting. No, how about that, everybody? Bruce Springsteen and Barack Obama doing a podcast together. What do you suppose that's going to be like? Hey, I wonder if Donald Trump's name's going to come up a lot. Because I can only imagine that if Bruce Springsteen's going to have any kind of podcast, that it would be one of those. It definitely would be one of those situations where
he's like a little baby.
It would be one of those situations where I'm not sure what he would talk about with Barack Obama, unless it's like this getting together and just bashing the... Because you do understand that you can't let him go. The media can't let Trump go. The press, Democrats, they can't let him go. They can't give him up. They can't do it because it's clicks, it's money, it's going to the minute somebody starts to talk about Trump, it's like, oh, what did they say? What did Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen say about Donald Trump? I can't wait to find out because, clicks and listens and you get it. All right, well, we're moving on from that, and I did have to play some of this audio. So the nominee for U.S. Attorney General is Merrick Garland. Now, not a lot of people knew about Merrick Garland except for the fact that Democrats have been saying for the longest time he should have been a Supreme Court justice, but it was, well, the whole process. It was going on just before the 2016 election and to replace Anthony Scalia, and that's how it was going to go down. It was going to be Merrick Garland, this moderate choice, and Republicans stopped it. They're awful and evil, and how dare they push back against the president who, I know I can't even say it with a straight face, a president who wanted to make his pick be the pick to be the next Supreme Court justice nominee, only to be pushed back on by a political party. Hey, that never happens with Democrats, right? It's not what they do.
This is what you do.
Well, yeah, it actually is what they do. So what does, for example, Merrick Garland think about, I don't know, like the riots over the summer, looting, destruction, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, some of the death that was taking place, the attacks against federal buildings where there were people inside the building, federal employees, inside the building in the Northwest, the attacks against these buildings, as opposed to what was happening on January 6th. One we're told is an act of domestic terrorism. The other is, listen, these are just a couple of folks that got out of control. They were upset during the day. It was all peaceful. At night, it turned into something else, and we don't know. So Josh Hawley, the person that the left hates the most. I mean, they hate Donald Trump the most, and then Ted Cruz is in there close by. But a close second is Josh Hawley, Senator Josh Hawley, and he just has some questions from Merrick Garland during this hearing, the confirmation hearing, the first day of the confirmation hearing, and so the question comes up about the attacks on the federal courthouses. And do they qualify as domestic terrorism? Because it happened at night when the court was closed. That means it doesn't qualify? Well, let's hear what he has to say.
Let me ask you about assaults on federal property in places other than Washington, D.C., Portland, for instance, Seattle. Do you regard assaults on federal courthouses or other federal property as acts of domestic extremism, domestic terrorism?
I mean, you're attacking a federal building. Antifa, Black Lives Matter, attacking the federal courthouse there. Antifa, is that domestic terrorism? How does that work out for you?
Well, Senator, my own definition, which is about the same as the statutory definition, is the use of violence or threats of violence in an attempt to disrupt democratic processes. So an attack on a courthouse while in operation, trying to prevent judges from actually deciding cases, that plainly is domestic extremism.
It's hard to. I know it's hard to listen to, but this is Merrick Garland, who you wouldn't have heard a lot of at all if he was a Supreme Court justice, and somebody who is so clear and succinct in his thinking. It wouldn't be somebody we would have to listen to anyway. That's fine. All right, so you're getting this? I mean, threats of violence in an attempt to disrupt the democratic process. Attack on a courthouse while in operation trying to prevent judges from actually deciding cases. That's domestic terrorism, right? What else?
Domestic terrorism.
Yeah.
An attack simply on government property at night or any other kind of circumstances is a clear crime and a serious one and should be punished. I don't know enough about the facts of the example you're talking about, but that's where I draw the line. One is both are criminal. But one is a core attack on our democratic institutions.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's what he's trying to make clear. And I wonder what you think, 239-479-5592. So what Merrick Garland, who is going to be possibly the next Attorney General for the United States, and will have a say in some of the things that are taking place like this, is that if you're using threats of violence or you're going to disrupt a democratic process, if you're in a courthouse, in a building, a federal building, and you're trying to prevent judges from deciding cases, something during the day that's happening, that's domestic terrorism. But if it's a government building in someplace else at night, or, if there's people in the building which there were, and some other kind of circumstances, but he's not really clear. But let's just say it's a building, it's a federal building, that, it's criminal, but it's different because of what is happening inside? What do you think they're doing in Portland? What do you think they were trying to burn the building down. They were trying to burn down the building with people inside the building. Do you not know that? Do you not remember that was the case? So I don't know how you do that as an attorney general. Well, I guess I know how you do that. You're politically minded, and he also claimed that we're in a period now, quote, more dangerous than after the Oklahoma City bombing happened in the 90s, which killed 170 people. Making that case. Do you believe that? Do you agree with him there? Do you think we're in a more dangerous position? Talking about terrorism, domestic terrorism. Again, how do you have it both ways? How can you do that? How do you not see one, but see the other clear? How do you not know what happened in Portland? How do you not know what happened in Seattle? How do you not know what happened to the federal courthouse there? But you're decisive on this side because it happened where you live. And we're supposed to believe that this is going to be somebody who is going to be clear and precise and succinct when it comes to decisions that need to be made by an attorney general. I'm not too sure how you can separate the two, but he did. 239-479-5592. When we come back, there's even more audio. Claire McCaskill was on MSNBC, and did she call him the wrong name? Wait, I got to just play this audio. Trying to make the case, and Nicole Wallace there on MSNBC, because, and they're all the big lefties, and they all hate the president and hate our values as a country and pretty much hate you. And so they're going after the Josh Hawleys and the Ted Cruzes and the ones that might have questions pertaining to Merrick Garland and where his thinking is at. And she can't even get his name right. She's so upset.
But I watched part of that hearing. I mean, Nicole, give me a break. Can you believe Cruz and Cornyn sat there and lectured Garland Merrick on politicizing DOJ?
Wait, lectured who?
Lectured Garland Merrick.
His name is Merrick Garland. You should probably, before you start going after somebody else, you should probably know the name of the person you're trying to defend. 239-479-5592. All right, let's take a break. More audio coming up with that and some other things that was mentioned in that conversation, including the $15 minimum hour wage, which is just going to help everybody. Even those that lose their job. Hey, listen, if almost 2 million people lose a job, look, that helps everybody. How does that work? No, I'm not kidding. We'll play the audio. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, DrewSteele.com. There's the website. Steele has 3 E's. You can go to YouTube at Drew Steele Radio. You can go to Facebook at Drew Steele Radio as well if you want to watch there. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News. Right all along, there's traffic with Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is slowing from the crash in Lehigh Acres on Leonard Boulevard. This is at the intersection of Noble. So if you are heading this way, to avoid it, you can always just hop onto State Road 82. I-75 is very busy if you're heading southbound, of course. Make sure to use those turn signals. Also, commuters in Estero, slowdowns on Corkscrew Road beginning heading east to the interstate, and a slowdown as well on Three Oaks north to Estero Parkway. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Few showers early, but then eventually becoming sunnier, lower humidity, temperatures for today into the 80s. Enjoy your Tuesday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Rush Limbaugh. We've been through so much together. Bush 41, 2 terms of Bill Clinton, the intern. Bill's sidekick, the smartest woman in America, Madam Rodham Clinton. Bush 43, 9/11. We've had 2 terms of Barack Hussein O. and Michelle My Belle O. We've had Michael J. We've had Sandra F. We've had same-sex marriage, addictomies, chopper-dickotomies, 30 years of demonstrating absurdity, 30 years of making the complex understandable, 30 years of advancing conservatism and truth. And yeah, over 30 years, a lot's happened, a lot's changed, but some things remain the same. America is the greatest nation on earth. The American people, those who make the country work, are the most generous, the most compassionate, the hardest working people on earth. And when unleashed from big government, our freedom lights up the world. And you, my audience, you're the greatest of the great. For 30 years, everything I've achieved, I could not have achieved without you. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, as well as the highly overrated staff. You all mean everything to me.
Steve of Fort Myers, Florida, had Verizon for years and was satisfied. Kept hearing Rush Limbaugh advertising Pure Talk, so he tried it. Says the savings are great. Customer service is equally great. Cell service is as good as Verizon. If you're with AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile, your family could save over $800 a year just by switching to Pure Talk. You get the same great coverage. You can even keep your phone and your number, but you'll save a fortune. Right now, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data for just $30 a month. And if you go over on data, they don't charge you for it. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Pure Talk, and you'll save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, say Pure Talk. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text message from Pure Talk. That's pound 250, say Pure Talk.
92.5 Fox News salutes the greatest radio personality of all time.
Wait, did I say team? I didn't mean that. That's what the media does.
Rest in peace, Rush. From 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission. That was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau here, owner of D.R. Martineau Roofing of Southwest Florida. I've been repairing and replacing roofs for 27 years. We operate with integrity, knowledge, and service. Google DRM Roofing or call 239-332-1441.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Kennedy at 3 and Drive Home with Trey Radel at 5. Now, back to Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592. We got about a minute. Tim's in Bonita. He wanted to weigh in on the $15 an hour minimum wage. That discussion keeps happening. We got to have it. Got to have it, Tim. Have to have it.
Well, the same things that happened under the Obama administration. For the first time in history, we had more small businesses closed than open, and none of that gets included in the unemployment data, because when a job just disappears, it's not considered unemployment. But the person can't be replaced, and the reason for that is that smaller businesses, they can't compete with McDonald's, who can pay the $15 an hour wage.
Yeah.
So
it's
they
true.
go out.
No, you're right, Tim. And you know what? And I'm looking at the time, and we got to run, and I hear the music. But thanks for the call, Tim. That's a great point. We know this, and yet Democrats still want to do it. Ever ask yourself why?
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
It's a new year and a fresh start. And a good time to freshen up your air conditioning system and indoor air quality. With our Southwest Florida weather, it's a good idea to have your system cleaned and checked by a conditioned air technician at least twice a year. Left unattended, small issues become big issues. Cars need regular maintenance, so do air conditioning systems. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR and online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
You probably know Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
There is always a better way, and we will always chase after it. We're building a cleaner energy future with millions of solar panels, and we're using the latest technology, investing in energy that's not just the most reliable or the cleanest, but also the most affordable. As we see it, the horizon is always moving, and to chase it is to deliver America's best energy value for you and for Florida. See how at fpl.com/value.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
COVID takes its biggest toll yet. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. 500,000 deaths across America.
While we've been fighting this pandemic for so long, we have to resist becoming numb to the sorrow.
President Biden at a White House ceremony with a moment of silence and candle lighting.
Let this not be a story of how far we fell, but of how far we climbed back up.
He again urged us to keep wearing the masks, keep social distancing, and get a COVID vaccine when we can. Johnson & Johnson, which is hoping for FDA approval soon for its one-dose version, says it could have 20 million vaccine shots ready in the U.S. by the end of next month. A month and a half after the deadly Capitol attack and following the Trump impeachment acquittal, the first hearing into the riot is this morning in the Senate. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, the former sergeants at arms for the House and Senate, who both resigned after the attack, will testify, along with former Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund and acting D.C. Police Chief Robert Conti. Watch for lawmakers on 2 Senate committees to ask tough questions. How much did law enforcement know ahead of the riot? And why wasn't the Capitol more prepared for an attack that was being planned online? The hearings come as Congress considers legislation to set up a bipartisan, independent commission to investigate the riot. Dave?
And Rachel, Merrick Garland told senators if he's confirmed as Attorney General, he'll supervise the riot prosecutions.
FBI Director Wray has indicated that the threat of domestic terrorism and particularly of white supremacist extremists is his number one concern in this area.
Garland's hearing will continue today, and 2 other Biden nominees have hearings also for Interior Secretary, Health and Human Services Secretary. The snow and ice is gone in Texas, but the problems aren't.
But no water because our pipe's broke and we can't get a plumber just yet. And the plumber has come out, but there's no parts.
She and many other Texans still without running water. Same for thousands in Louisiana and Mississippi. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is slowing from the crash in Lehigh Acres on Leonard Boulevard. This is at the intersection of Noble. So if you are heading this way, to avoid it, you can always just hop onto State Road 82. I-75 is very busy if you're heading southbound, of course. Make sure to use those turn signals. Also, commuters in Estero, slowdowns on Corkscrew Road beginning heading east to the interstate, and a slowdown as well on Three Oaks north to Estero Parkway. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Few showers will be possible early on into the day, but eventually they roll out, drier air moves in, and we finish the day with a lot of sunshine. Temperatures in the 80s today, tomorrow, where a few more isolated showers are possible, but nothing too widespread. Mostly sunny with those spring-like 80s for your Thursday, and even warmer as we look ahead to the weekend. Beach, pool, absolutely. Mixture of sunshine and clouds with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
How many client portfolios is your investment advisor responsible for? Is yours one of hundreds? Or perhaps your financial institution has just been acquired by yet another firm, and the team you've known for years is suddenly gone. At the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company and its division, the Naples Trust Company, our portfolio management team is local and care for a proper ratio of account relationships designed to give you the highest possible attention and an asset allocation that is best for you and your goals. Another key factor is that all of our employees are owners in the trust company through an employee stock ownership plan. So we have no interest in being acquired, and more importantly, we have a vested interest in seeing our clients as happy as we are. Are you ready for a better experience? Contact us at the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company or the Naples Trust Company. Visit sancaptrustco.com to discover the difference.
Not FDIC insured. All investments involve risk and are not guaranteed.
All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for people of good conscience to remain silent. These days, a statement like that might get you banned from Twitter. Who said it? That radical Thomas Jefferson. I'm Lori Roman, president of the American Constitutional Rights Union, and this is a Live Free Minute. After more than 200 years of enjoying free speech, the current cancel culture has Americans fearful of expressing themselves. The First Amendment to the Constitution was written to stop the government from infringing on the God-given right of every American to express their views. We pledge that we will not remain silent. Please join ACRU in standing up against cancel culture, because without free speech, we can't live free. This Live Free Minute is brought to you by American Constitutional Rights Union, a national nonprofit organization in Naples, Florida. If you'd like to learn more about our work, visit livefreeminute.org. livefreeminute.org.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. It's mobile friendly, great for your phone or your smart app or smart device. I got to get that right. DrewSteele.com, Steele with 3 E's. You can go to YouTube.com. Just go to Drew Steele Radio or Facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio. All those places you can watch the program. Coming up 7:35, Kevin Derby, FloridaDaily.com. We're going to talk about some Florida news, some headlines out of Tallahassee that will affect you and impact you here in the state as we get closer to session in Tallahassee and some of what we will hear and see. And then at 8 o'clock, 8:05 to be exact, Zach Smith's going to join us from the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org. We're going to dig into Merrick Garland and the Supreme Court decisions from yesterday, and we're going to get into all of that. Plus a little cancel culture going on as well. You've probably heard, well, I'll get to it in just a second because I wanted to get to a little bit of this first. Quickly, Merrick Garland from yesterday. Listen, we come to find out that Merrick Garland is actually a hot mess. You know, the Democrats' favorite Supreme Court justice. It's like, you know how Stacey Abrams is the governor of the state of Georgia because she never conceded and she never said she wasn't. And Democrats were like, well, it was stolen and everything. So she technically is. And so that's just the way it is. Stacey Abrams, the de facto governor. Well, Merrick Garland in the same way because Republicans pushed back and we're not going to nominate and go along with the nomination of Merrick Garland before the 2016 election, and how Democrats were like, how awful is this? He's actually the Supreme Court justice he should have been. So he's a de facto Supreme Court justice now, is a nominee to be the next Attorney General of the United States. So you would assume that if you listen to a Merrick Garland, boy, are you going to hear somebody who is articulate and really gets it, and somebody who is moderate in his positions, and somebody that you can listen to and say, all right, I'm understanding exactly what's going on with Merrick Garland. So how did we do? He was a hot mess. He was an absolute hot mess yesterday, and we learned a lot about Merrick Garland yesterday. First of all, if you want to hear a little bit of what he said to Cory Booker wanted to ask, of course, about the domestic terrorism. And anytime the idea of domestic terrorism comes up, or domestic extremism, they're talking about you. You understand that's what they're trying to do. Donald Trump equals white supremacy, equals domestic terrorists, equals Trump supporters. All in the same bucket, all in the same basket, all in the same bushel. Is that right? Is a bushel a basket? Is that all the same thing? Anyway, so Cory Booker also wanted to know more about that. And, we got to purge this scorn of white supremacy that is rampant in the country. I'm talking about everywhere you turn, there is someone who says Democrats, but it's like the QAnon thing. Again, they did a poll to find out what Republicans know about QAnon. Did you see that poll? It was like 48%, I think, of Republicans have absolutely no clue what it is. 3% know exactly what it is. 4% think they know what it is. And the rest are undecided. You're making it sound like everybody knows what you're talking about when you say QAnon. They have no clue. They don't know. Because you're doing what you're doing with white supremacists to make it sound like it's rampant across the country. Everywhere you turn, in every building, there's at least half the people in the building that are. And, and by the way, did you know that they're also Trump supporters? Oh, what a coincidence. That's the kind of thing we got to get rid of. You know that's what they're doing. As awful as it sounds, Cory Booker, we got to purge this.
Purge of domestic terrorism. Is this something that you will look at in terms of the degree of the resources of the agency?
All right, so we're looking at the agency, right? The Attorney General is looking at the agency and is saying, okay, we're going to use our resources to go against this domestic terrorism, domestic extremism. Are you on board with this? The very articulate Merrick Garland, who is actually a Supreme Court justice but doesn't know it, neither do Democrats, says...
Yeah, as I say, I think the first thing I should do as part of my briefings on the Capitol bombing are briefings with...
Wait, the briefings on the what?
My briefings on the Capitol bombing.
Was there a Capitol bombing? I had no idea. I mean, that was there? Maybe a little bit confused. Not really sure. That doesn't matter. Let's get to Merrick Garland on some other issues. How about the issue of immigration? We'd like to know what he thinks about simple questions that Josh Hawley would like to ask. Senator Josh Hawley just asks a very common sense, simple question of the Supreme Court Justice, soon to be Attorney General Merrick Garland.
Judge Garland, I'd like to talk a little bit more about the law enforcement challenges at the border, which I know a number of other members have brought up with you. Just a fundamental question. Do you believe that illegal entry at America's border should remain a crime?
Hey, Jake, just to answer this question. It's pretty simple. Yes or no?
Do you believe that illegal entry at America's border should remain a crime?
Is it a crime for you to come across the border illegally?
I don't see how it's a crime for me to leave illegally.
What? Will you stop with the mask? Don't do this. Jake is very he's getting into the whole mask issue, and he can't go anywhere and can't do anything. Can't leave, can't fly, can't drive, can't take buses, trains, planes, and automobiles without his trusty mask. I know you're frustrated. If you're coming across the border illegally, it's probably a crime. Illegal border crossing, you're not allowed to come across the border illegally. It's a crime, right? Pretty straightforward. All right, let's see what the Supreme Court Justice, soon to be Attorney General Merrick Garland, has to say about it in the hearing. Here we go.
Well, I haven't thought about that question. I just haven't thought about that question. I think the president has made clear that we are a country with the borders and with a concern about national security. I don't know of a proposal to decriminalize but still make it unlawful to enter. I just don't know the answer to that question. I haven't thought about it.
He's going to be the next Attorney General of the United States. He is a Supreme Court justice, according to Democrats, who demanded that he be the choice. And I want to play that again. As hard as it is to listen to Merrick Garland, a hot mess. Listen to this about illegal. If you cross the border illegally, is it a crime? Can you do this or not?
Well, I haven't thought about that question. I just haven't thought about that question.
Haven't thought about it. Have no idea. Illegally crossing. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I got other things going on, you know?
I think, the president has made clear that we are a country with the borders and with the concern about national security.
Really? When? When did he do that? When did Joe Biden? Anybody have the audio? Can you find the audio? When did Joe Biden say that? I've never heard Joe Biden say anything about that. As a matter of fact, I have heard some of the things that the administration wants to do. Let's go over it. Okay? And before we go over it, I just want to play one more clip. All right? I think Josh Hawley's kind of shocked at all of this. Like, you're probably shocked listening to this. First of all, I've never heard Joe Biden talking about his concerns about national security along our southern border. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you examples of how it seems like Democrats could care less about what's happening along the border, and quite the contrary, and I'll get to that in just a second. But Josh Hawley is asking...
Will you continue to prosecute unlawful border crossings?
How about that? If you're coming across the border illegally, it's unlawful, you're going to prosecute, or what are you going to do?
Well, this is, again, a question of allocation of resources.
All right, we don't have enough people. We have. How are you going to allocate enough people to stop what's going on along? We can't do it. It's impossible.
The department will prevent unlawful crossing. I don't know. I have to admit, I just don't know exactly what the conditions are and how this is done. I think if I don't know what the current program even is with respect to this. If there, so
can't do it. I just can't do it. You get that feeling too, like you got to kind of shake it out, like. I could probably do a whole montage of just him answering questions. Jake's looking at me like, is this guy serious? Yes, he's serious. This is Joe Biden's choice. I'll bet you they hang out in the basement together and they play Mario Kart together in the basement.
Did you just say Mario?
Mario Kart. Is it Mario?
We'll circle back. Maybe that's what he should have done.
I'll circle back.
Yeah, so there's Merrick Garland. A hot mess. Hey, if you're interested in understanding exactly what the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021 does, this is Joe Biden's policy when it comes to immigration. Here's something that Merrick Garland might want to read. Amnesty would be the largest in U.S. history, grants an 8-year pathway to citizenship for at least 14 million illegals in the country. Yep, I said illegals. Also provides green cards to temporary protected status holders, deferred action to DACA recipients, and most illegal immigrant farm workers. It would also allow any illegal alien deported by the Trump administration to return and receive the amnesty. You bet it. You've got kicked out before. Come on back. And the legislation additionally carves out exceptions for those who have committed crimes of moral turpitude or crimes that could involve murder, theft, and rape. That's right. There's some exceptions in there for some of that. Everybody else is good. The diversity lottery will increase from $55,000 a year to $80,000 a year. That's on the legal side. But all you needed to hear is the amnesty part. I mean, I could go on, and our friend Dave Ray, Federation for Immigration Reform, has all of this, in case you're wondering. And I don't see through a pandemic how they're looking to do anything along our border. It's a fascinating thing where Merrick Garland has no idea really what's going on along the border, Attorney General. And, it's like it's not my pay grade. Can't really deal with all of that. It'll get back to me. Somebody will circle back. We'll talk to.
I'll circle back.
And we'll get to it when the time comes. But how this isn't even a fundamental discussion, period, end of it, that we're in the middle of a pandemic and we need to do everything we can to make sure that people, we don't know where they're coming from and what they're carrying along with them, including the vid, to cross our southern border. That might be an issue. I'm just asking. All right, 239-479-5592. Hey, the cancel culture is back alive and well. I got to play some of the audio from Gina Carano, who was on with the Ben Shapiro. I guess it was his show. He does a video interview with her, and it's pretty fascinating what she's saying, and I think you're going to be interested to hear a little bit about that and the latest from cancel culture. Listen, it's us versus them when it comes to the cancel culture, and maybe dig into that a little more. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Do we have it? There it is. Sabrina Katz has it.
Traffic is slowing on Immokalee Road. If you're heading south towards Oil Well, go ahead and stick to Everglades Boulevard. It will be a lot quicker right now. There's also a delay from a crash at the intersection of Wilson and Golden Gate Boulevard. Westbound congestion continues to build on Golden Gate heading towards the intersection. Immokalee Road is at a creep and crawl as well if you're heading west of 951 towards Logan. I would avoid this area for now. If you're heading that way, just stick to Vanderbilt. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Few showers early, but then eventually becoming sunnier, lower humidity, temperatures for today into the 80s. Enjoy your Tuesday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steele.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
I was asked the other day if I could explain romance. Hi, it's Joseph Edison. I pondered that for a few moments. Wow, I'm not sure. Romance, it's a mystery, like the deep blue sea. Romance is when somebody makes more time to spend with their sweetie, and we help people do that. Closet Factory's master designers can make time for more date nights, and better organization clears the mind, giving you and your sweetie time to better concentrate on each other. Ah, romance.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
It's the biggest, fattest, zeroist event ever. Well, that's what it is. The Big Fat Zero event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. It's exactly what you've been waiting on, Southwest Florida, because you buy a new Nissan with zero money down, 0% APR financing, zero payments till next year. What can be better? Winning the lottery? Sure, but then you'd have to pay a lot of taxes, pay your family, pay for a lawyer. I prefer the Big Fat Zero. Of course, because when you buy a new Nissan from Sutherland, you don't pay a penny down, you don't pay a penny in interest, and you don't pay a penny till 2022. Get to the Big Fat Zero event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Shop online at nissansales.com or capecoralnissan.com. If it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much. See dealer for details.
Most people that buy their own health insurance think once they have chosen their ACA plan during open enrollment, they're stuck for the year. This is simply not the case. You can change at any time, no problems. If you are fairly healthy and don't need mandated coverage like maternity, you can save 30 to 60% with Health Plan Network. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. You owe it to yourself to see if you qualify for a better plan that can save you money with lower deductibles. Go to healthplannetwork.net to request a quote. That's healthplannetwork.net. Or call Tim Cooper, an expert with over 23 years experience, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Act now to see if you qualify to save 30 to 60%. healthplannetwork.net. Sensible solutions.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Oh. Again, here we go with Florida. We got a lot of weird Florida stories. You want a weird Florida story today? I'm trying to think if I can... Man, I wonder if I have this anymore. Let me see if I have this or not. All right, here you go. Are you ready? I'll give you a weird Florida story. Jake loves these. Are you ready, Jake?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. Florida! 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 I don't know what that was. Sorry. All right, never mind. A woman was arrested on Monday after she allegedly robbed a bank in one of those electric wheelchairs and threatened to kill everybody inside. What? At a Regions Bank in Jacksonville. She said, authorities said the woman was given cash before leaving the bank, located blocks from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office headquarters, taken into custody a short time later. So she was in one of those little scooters. Never displayed a weapon, and she uses this electric scooter to get around, last seen wearing a silver and black face mask. So they had her description by her. They described her, so they found her because they described the mask she was wearing. It was like silver and black, almost like, isn't that the football team? Isn't the Raiders silver and black? Isn't that their famous? So they just looked for something. See that? So maybe there is something to be said about masks, where you think you're wearing a mask to protect yourself against the vid. It also, unfortunately, for those that are trying to rob banks and those electric scooters, can stop you from being, or can help to 239-479-5592. More Florida stories coming up. By the way, Nikki Fried is saying, hey, listen, you know how the governor here in the state of Florida, the fantastic job that the governor is doing, that Nikki Fried wants you to believe is an awful job. Yeah, so the Democrat Agriculture Commissioner, it's interesting how the Sun Sentinel and other places always describe Nikki Fried as the Democrat Agriculture Commissioner. They want to remind you that she is the lone Democrat there in the cabinet, and that in Tallahassee, when it comes to those that push back against the governor and probably know a thing or two about the governor, Nikki Fried is your go-to. She's not going to lower flags at state offices under her direction to honor the late conservative talk show host Rush Limbaugh. DeSantis said on Friday that he would direct flags to be flown at half-staff for Limbaugh, who died of lung cancer on Wednesday, at the age of 70. As the governor said, quote, lowering the half-staff the flag of the United States of America is a sacred honor that pays respect to fallen heroes and patriots. And in a prepared statement, Nikki Fried wanted to let everybody know that Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services oversees numerous state offices, including 9 regional licensing offices, 38 state forests, and 23 agricultural law enforcement inspection stations. And as far as she's concerned, she's not going to have any of them do that at all. Nikki Fried, you're a Democrat Agriculture Commissioner. Just want to let you know that. And apparently so do they. Because they seem to be really proud of her. Almost as if she's going to run in 2022. Gotcha. All right, more on that and more on what's happening in Tallahassee. Stay tuned, because Kevin Derby, FloridaDaily.com is coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Now more than ever, it's essential to have a primary care provider ready to care for you. Book your first appointment through Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, and get established with a care team who'll be there for you wherever and whenever you need. Primary and specialty care, walk-in centers, lab services, imaging centers, and COVID-19 evaluation and testing. Connect with Millennium Physician Group today and be ready for tomorrow. 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG. MillenniumPhysician.com.
There is nothing that changes as much as tax law. After all, there have been tax changes, stimulus dollars, changes on the changes, but they're all meant to put more money in your pocket. Don't make a mistake that could cost you thousands. Let EG Tax be your tax interpreter and guide. Come join the EG Tax family at their Naples office across from Tamiami Ford. Call 239-262-2009. That's 262-2009. Or click egtax.com. That's egtax.com.
Progressive presents an interview with your upstairs neighbor.
Hey, it's Rick from upstairs. Yeah, I take it seriously. When I play R&B at 1 a.m, that's me saying, hey, I'm here for you. And I enjoy repetitive bass lines. I only use expired batteries in my smoke detectors. Nice, right? Yeah, upstairs neighbors help people forget their troubles. Give them something else to focus on. Ooh, want to see how high I can jump?
Progressive can't save you from your upstairs neighbor.
No, wait, let me try again.
But we can save you money when you bundle renters and auto insurance with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
This is Ground Game with me, Julie Pace, AP's Washington Bureau Chief. The thing that always struck me about Harris is that she had so much potential. That's what you kept hearing from people, all of the potential.
Yeah, it's interesting. I like Senator Harris, but I'm not sure she can win.
Original, unbiased, the news you need as America prepares for the 2020 election. Listen and subscribe to Ground Game, free, from the Westwood One Podcast Network, where the conversation starts.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. Everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Offices, Fort Myers. And
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Unless you want more of your hard-earned dollars going to the government, you need to pay attention to what I'm about to say. Now, the president's tax cuts, they may be on the way out, and it's not just your income taxes that could go up. That's why you should call my friend Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group. Call now, 239-747-1163.
Investment advisory services offered through Townsend Advisory Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor in Florida.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster.
Remember each person and the life they lived.
President Biden warns 500,000 American coronavirus deaths with an address and candlelight vigil at the White House. He says he knows all too well what it's like to lose someone.
That black hole in your chest, you feel like you're being sucked into it.
Coronavirus infections, hospitalizations, and deaths have declined since last month's peak. The wife of the Mexican drug kingpin, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, is arrested at Dulles Airport in Virginia. Fox 5 DC's Shirin Raje.
31-year-old Emma Cornell Ispura, who is a citizen of both the U.S. and Mexico, is charged with conspiracy to distribute heroin, cocaine, and other drugs like marijuana, methamphetamine for unlawful import into the U.S.
She's also accused of helping her husband break out of a Mexican prison in 2015 and attempting another escape before extradition to the U.S. He's now in prison for life. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is slowing on Immokalee Road. If you're heading south towards Oil Well, go ahead and stick to Everglades Boulevard. It will be a lot quicker right now. There's also a delay from a crash at the intersection of Wilson and Golden Gate Boulevard. Westbound congestion continues to build on Golden Gate heading towards the intersection. Immokalee Road is at a creep and crawl as well if you're heading west of 951 towards Logan. I would avoid this area for now. If you're heading that way, just stick to Vanderbilt. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Few showers will be possible early on into the day, but eventually they roll out, drier air moves in, and we finish the day with a lot of sunshine. Temperatures in the 80s today, tomorrow, where a few more isolated showers are possible, but nothing too widespread. Mostly sunny with those spring-like 80s for your Thursday, and even warmer as we look ahead to the weekend. Beach, pool, absolutely. Mixture of sunshine and clouds with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
This is Lois. At Wink News, we're on the phone. We're on the beat. We're on the scene.
We're working every angle. We're working for you.
From breaking news to the Weather Authority.
More than 60 years of reporting excellence is a reputation earned. How do we do what we do?
Sorry, I can't talk right now.
Sorry, I'm too busy. We tell you how we're doing it.
Sorry, I'm on assignment right now. I'm on a deadline.
If we weren't so busy doing it.
Getting it first, getting it right.
Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
a secret designer. On the next Drew Barrymore show. Design ideas from Nate Berkus and Jeremiah Brent. Plus,
I don't think I've laughed that hard.
Kristen Wiig and the cast of Barb and Star.
And we're rolling in cold, wet sand. It's like Jamie Dornan doesn't have his shirt on.
Jamie, you just fit right in. All new Drew.
Drew, today at 3 on Wink.
Your new home is calling you to live the good life, starting now. River Hall is where it all starts, a true paradise. River Hall is one of the Gulf Coast's most exclusive master-planned communities, where country club living meets the casual, barefoot Florida lifestyle. River Hall's Davis Love III Championship Golf Course is one of the top-rated courses in the Gulf Coast area, and you'll love River Hall's private oasis pools, bike paths, fitness center, tennis and bocce courts, and more. Live large with homes priced from just the 500s to the 800s from Pulte. The Pulte collection of breezy, open floor plans offers something for every lifestyle, with upscale finishes and features designed for elegant, gracious living. Here's to finally finding the perfect place. Here's to home. River Hall is just 20 minutes east of Fort Myers in the River Shores District. Come see model homes now. Visit liveriverhall.com. That's liveriverhall.com.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that a lady recently complained that she did not like my commercial about the guy spitting chewing tobacco. She said that sound made her sick. I asked her what she thought about my commercial of Bart the donkey, and she went... Either way, a special thanks to over 4,000 wonderful people who did respond to Papa's wacky commercials and making this past year our biggest, most profitable year in over 30 years. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, we invite you to call Papa for our free tile roof inspection. If we find needed repairs, we'll do our best to make it affordable. Let us show you how we can clean and seal your tile roof, pavers, and pool decks the eco-friendly way, and it's cleaner, safer, and lasts longer. We promise to keep the donkey off your roof. Call me, Papa, for our free tile roof inspection. 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Remember, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7.
License number CCC 1326213.
Is your car a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it? Would you rather be driving a brand new Nissan equipped with all the latest technology and safety features? Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer, yes, a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, we'll give you the original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Bring us that old Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Ford. We don't care where you bought it from. We don't care if you bought it new or used. Go to NaplesNissan.com. Pick out your favorite new Nissan model with Bluetooth, backup camera, and that new car smell. You can have it all today after we pay you what you paid for your trade-in. Don't wait. Get full details at NaplesNissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line is streaming live, drewsteele.com. The website, it's mobile friendly. Set up that way, it's simple, so you can watch on your mobile phone, your smart device, on your computer if you'd like, and then you can go to YouTube or Facebook if you'd like, at Drew Steele Radio. Steele has 3 E's, so don't forget that. Kevin Derby, FloridaDaily.com. It's been a while. We're so glad to have Kevin Derby back because we got committee going on. We got session on the way very soon in Tallahassee, and some of the biggest decisions that will affect you in your everyday life will be happening very, very soon. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Drew. How are you, my friend?
I'm all right. So how is it? By the way, how's committee been so far? I mean, how has it been? Fireworks, quiet? What have you noticed?
It's been very different this year because of the COVID, because of how they're not taking as many comments from various concerned citizens, from lobbyist groups. It has been a much smoother process. It has been fairly quiet so far. We're getting ready for the legislators to come in and start the regular session a week from today. It's been a quiet start, though.
Yeah.
Committee week has been moving, kind of seamlessly. Look, you have strong Republican majorities in both chambers. You're not going to see many conflict on that end. But look, what we're basically doing is we're in the strange position Usually it's the tougher budgets in the off years. Because of the revenue, I think this will be kind of a more painless budget. It's not exactly perfect, but I think next year is when the revenue crunch is really going to begin, just because of how COVID has impacted the state and its finances, with so fewer people coming into Disney World, to the beaches, to hotels, spending at restaurants. That's when the revenue crunch is going to be in the middle of what's looking to be a competitive election. So it's definitely a different vibe than what we usually have here in Tallahassee.
Yeah, and speaking of some elections that are going on, the talk has been, and we've talked about it, and on this show we talk about the fact that, look, Nikki Fried's running for governor. I don't care what anybody says. The fact that the way that last, last week when she had that message about the governor not caring, but she cares, and the lives lost due to COVID, and that messaging, that to me was like the beginning of the messaging and how everything is going to come forward that she is going to run. I mean, it's an open secret, right? Everybody knows it.
Yeah, she has increasingly left that door open. There are other possibilities as well, one of them being former Congressman Glenn Graham, kind of like a third choice for everybody. One guy who's increasingly going after Ron DeSantis is Charlie Crist, the once again perhaps gubernatorial candidate. Charlie Crist has really raised the ante the past 2 weeks or so, talking about hitting the governor's plans to reform elections, trying to limit what we can do with mail-in ballots.
Yeah, I was just going to say, can you go into detail on that as well? You can continue to talk about what Charlie Crist has been talking about, but I do want to get into that election reform proposal, so we'll do that. But yeah, so he's been talking about that. What else has Charlie Crist been talking about?
Yeah, he also hitting him on Medicaid. Look, Charlie Crist is a guy, remember, he's now in his third term in Congress. He's on the Appropriations Committee. That's a seat you'll want. Byron Donalds, Greg Steube, everyone else in West Florida would kill to have a seat on Appropriations, okay? Why is Charlie giving this up? Well, you look at his Pinellas County district, boy, it's a pretty good seat for Democrats, but you can move that around a little bit into Tampa. Charlie is in danger of being redistricted. If that happens, I think he's absolutely running for governor one more time. Going back to the election reform, look, what they are doing, the proposal that Ron DeSantis is backing, he unveiled it late last week. He has major support in both chambers of the legislature from leadership. It would basically change how we do vote by mail. Instead of sending out vote by mail ballots to everyone who's ever applied for one, you have to apply for it once a year under this. The other thing it would do, it would limit how county election boards work with third-party groups. And let's be very clear, that's exactly directed at souls to the polls. Do I think it gets past both chambers of the legislature? Absolutely. I do think this is going to be one of those things when it's passed, because it's going to be with civil rights, because it's going to be with federal elections, a federal judge is going to come in and say, no, I don't like this. We're going to put this on hold. You can already kind of see that's where this is going to go. I do think it'll pass fairly easily in both chambers on party lines. It's going to be held up in the courts, and that's where this battle's going.
Hey, and then look, then we can talk about it. I mean, I want to have the discussion. Absolutely. I want to be able to put that out there. I want to know who's siding with it, who sides against it, and why. I want to have all of those particulars in place. But I think Charlie Crist is an interesting case because it proves that as long as you're useful, then you can still exist. Like that to me is Charlie Crist. Is he a Republican? Is he a Democrat? Is he a Whig? What is he? Nobody knows, right? Pick a party, right? And then, as long as you're useful to Democrats, then he's useful. And he's an amazing. He's like an anomaly. He's like I don't know what word you want to use. He's I've never seen anything like it.
No, I haven't either. He's a guy who frankly, most of his career has been a political hermit crab. He has never changed. He always changed his shells. Look, he didn't run. He held 3 state cabinet offices. Did not run for a second term in any of them. He's had numerous Senate bids. He was governor, didn't want to be governor, wanted to be in the Senate. Oh, I don't want to be in the Senate, went back to try to be governor. I honestly thought when he in going from party to party to party, Republican in 2010, then all of a sudden switches over to non-party affiliated. Then 2 years later, after endorsing Obama, joins the Democrats. With Charlie Crist, the guy just keeps moving offices. I thought when he beat David Jolly, I just like, oh gosh, he's going to run for something else again. Well, he runs for House in 2018. He runs for the House again in 2020. He gets that Appropriations Committee seat. I mean, look, whatever I think of him, he's extremely popular in Pinellas County. I thought it was like, well, he's bringing the bacon home to Pinellas County, to St. Petersburg. Maybe he's going to stay there. Nope, he's not. And again, he's already looking at exploring other possibilities. I think he's a loser if he runs against DeSantis. I think the Democrats would absolutely prefer to have Nikki Fried or somebody else run for it. If Crist is facing major redistricting, I think he takes a shot at it. If not, though, my guess is he'll probably stay where he is.
Yeah. Kevin Derby, FloridaDaily.com is the website to find out about all things Florida. You can go to the website right now, FloridaDaily.com. Greg Steube, you mentioned Greg Steube, and there are a couple of things that he's focused on right now. And certainly, you mentioned this at Florida Daily about how in June he was talking about the U.S. Citrus Protection Act, which has, I think right now, which has twofold of an issue, right? One is how we are going to protect Florida when it comes to the issue of the importation of commercial products like fresh citrus from places like China, but also the protection of what has been happening, the things that we do in the state, and making sure that we certainly can continue to do business and continue to grow even amidst this pandemic in ways that other states have not been able to do it, Kevin. I mean, let's be honest, right? You have other states that are not being able to do the kind of things that we have been able to do because of the policies of this governor. And so we certainly don't want things that are trying to come back to have a harder time because of some of the policies, either whether it's on the federal level going against us or whether it's something like this. Maybe talk about some of the bills that he's focused on.
Yeah, Greg Steube is unveiled a host of bills about trying to reform the VA as well as the USDA. One of the things he's actually looking to do, as you know, trying to protect citrus. Another great bill he has is, look, why don't we move some of the visas that are for temporary agricultural workers, get them out of the Labor Department where they can sit and often get overlooked, move them over to the USDA. It's an interesting proposal. I think it's one that bears merit. With Ted Yoho in retirement, I think Greg Steube has become probably the most conservative member of the Florida delegation, and I do mean that as a compliment. Steube is a guy who is, you don't hear as much from him as you do some of the other members, but he has absolutely been a workhorse, a guy who's putting yeoman's work for conservative values up on Capitol Hill. And look, there are a lot of people on Capitol Hill who, they're warriors for Trump, and you see them on Fox News. But when it comes to every bill in the world, whether it's defending the military, whether it's same-sex marriage, whether it's climate change, whether it's drugs, they go left. Yes, I'm talking about Matt Gaetz there. But, that Greg Steube is a guy who talks the talk, who walks the walk, and frankly, he's probably the most conservative member of the delegation. He has really come on in recent months. A very, very impressive member of Congress. Southwest Florida is lucky to have.
Hey, I guess, and we'll see if that is really the case because, some might make the case our congressman here, Byron Donalds, do you really want to make that suggestion, Kevin? Do you really want to go there?
Donalds is off to a good start. I will say his work on the House Budget Committee has been impressive. It's only been a few weeks now, but Donalds, I will say, has made something of an impact. Keep an eye on him on the House Budget Committee. I think Donalds is a guy to keep an eye on. He really has showed a lot of potential. And look, with his record in Tallahassee, it's no surprise. He's always been a very solid legislator.
Yeah, and one other thing before we go, as you mentioned earlier, before we got started, we've talked about this before, but I want to reiterate what we've discussed and then kind of expand on it when it comes to the budget. And you think that next year's budget is really going to be the tough one. This year's going to be tough, but I mean, how much are the legislature as they're looking at specific issues? Is this one of those things that you feel like is not going to be as tough because of the pandemic and because it's hard to say no during times that we are in, as opposed to other times? Is that what it is? It's just hard to say no to specific issues and funding in a budget in Tallahassee because of the conditions that we are under. as opposed to, listen, there are things that we're just getting way out of control when it comes to spending. And, even some questions that I have about what the governor would put in a budget and where the money is going. And I might like to see a little less. Is that what your suggestion is, that's what's happening right now? Or is it?
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you on spending. The governor's asking for $96.6 billion, an increase from $90 billion from when he first came in. That includes all this money going to teacher salaries. He's asking for $625 more million for Everglades restoration. He's asking for, basically the same amount, though it'll be through bonds, to study climate change, sea level rises. Yeah, that's kind of where we're starting here. The one thing I think because there's no tax cuts in this budget, let's be very clear. And please, I'm not in the governor's camp where, hey, look, I'm no longer impressed by another tax-deferred or tax-free back-to-school shopping sale. Okay, I expect that every year. I'm not going to celebrate that as a huge tax cut and a win for Florida families. That's what we're looking at. I do think there's a little more spending than there should be. Where they're going to be able to get a little bit of room. Look, there's about 100,000 students, public schools kids, who they thought would be back in school already. They're not. That gives them a little bit of revenue to play with. I think that's one option. You're starting to see it again. Well, it's not a tax raise, but if we enforce online sales tax collection, well, we're just enforcing the taxes. That's where they're going to try to make up the difference. So I do think those issues are coming, to be sure. They absolutely are there.
Yeah,
it's not a great, but yeah.
And that's what's frustrating to me is that, just me personally, at a time when we know we're trying to keep the improvement going here in the state amidst everything that is going on and to try to get better and to reopen and get people working and the like and the kind of spending that we want to see tamped down anyway. When I hear things about sea level and climate change and the kind of money that we're spending there, I might suggest we can take a pause on that. But of course, the individuals that talk about sea level and climate change, there's no way we can pause. We just can't do it, Kevin. It's just not a possibility because 1 year that we pause on the money to invest and to find out more about these things is one less year we have to live on the planet. And when you have that kind of rhetoric that's coming out, it's frustrating. I mean, it's frustrating to me. I mean, I'm not sure how you feel about it, but that's the pushback that I would give to people with certain things that are happening within a budget. If you're going to make the claim that it's a rough year, and it is, then I also might make the claim that that's a place where I wouldn't mind not seeing money going right away. We can come back to that.
You're absolutely right. It is a sharp contrast to 2011 in the middle of the Great Recession when Rick Scott said we got to hold the line. We only offered $1 billion more from the 2010 budget. And offered actual serious tax cut proposals. Yeah, Ron DeSantis doesn't want to touch the environmental money. He doesn't want to touch the teacher salary increases. Those have been his babies. And, I'm not expecting him to really go after them too hard. And certainly I don't expect the legislature to in the next 60 days.
Yeah.
They're just not going to do it.
All right, Kevin Derby, FloridaDaily.com. Go visit the website to find out more about these stories and others. And we'll do this again hopefully next week because we got to keep an eye on Tallahassee as session gets ready to begin. All right, my friend. We'll see you soon, okay?
Look forward to it. Take care.
All right. 239-479-5592. Right now, it's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD for caller number 5 right now. And not only that, I am told that, yes, today we do have a $50 gift card to the Naughty Hog Backyard Barbecue. Just for playing, you're going to win one of the newest locations there in Naples. The shop's at Vanderbilt on Vanderbilt Beach Road. Family owned, 3 locations in Collier County. You love pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and chicken. Well, the 5th caller right now, you're going to win and get to play Drew's College up next on Daybreak 92.5. Fox News right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Heat pumps take heat out of the air and put it in your pool. They cost less to run than gas heaters, and you won't have panels on your roof. Special pricing, rebates, and free on-site evaluations. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
Hey, it's Drew Steele visiting with my good friend TJ owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples. And, TJ, we talk about CoreTech. A lot of people talk about CoreTech. But tell people and explain why so many people love their CoreTech floors.
CoreTech is built to be waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof. It looks just like wood, comes anywhere from 6 inches wide to 9 inches wide, all the way up to 86 inches long. Comes in a wide variety of colors, with a bevel, without a bevel, warm tones, cool tones, any color to make your house look beautiful.
So you want to see it for yourself? Go to the Floor Meisters. You're going to really love it. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Give them a call. 239-596-4964. 239-596-4964. Or on the web at floormeisters.com.
It's a new year and a fresh start. And a good time to freshen up your air conditioning system and indoor air quality. With our Southwest Florida weather, it's a good idea to have your system cleaned and checked by a conditioned air technician at least twice a year. Left unattended, small issues become big issues. Cars need regular maintenance, so do air conditioning systems. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR and online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right. Let's go to Robert. Robert's in Ave Maria. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Drew.
It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Robert, think about this. Who won the GOP nomination for President of the United States in the year 2016?
Trump. Trump.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner?
Scott Fitzgerald.
No, it's Francis Scott Key. Francis Scott Key. That's okay. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Listen carefully. In 2002, this president proposed adding a new cabinet department called the Department of Homeland Security. Which president was that?
Bush.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. The House of Representatives has how many voting members? How many voting members are there in the House of Representatives? You want clues, hints?
Yeah, a clue, please.
Okay, you had the first number right. You just said it. Is it 50, 100, or 435?
435.
It's 435. That is correct, sir. I'm getting yelled at. What? I'm just trying to be, I'm trying to give clues. I'm trying to be helpful. Look, it's a civics lesson. If we've got kids listening, we want to make sure that they get the right answer and they feel like they could win anything if given 3 separate answers to a question. All right. Well, congratulations, Robert. You got yourself a master's degree today on Drew's College. And not only that, you got yourself something else very special, a $50 gift card for the Naughty Hog Backyard Barbecue. Their newest location in Naples is at the shops at Vanderbilt on Vanderbilt Beach Road, and you can visit and grab yourself some great food, okay?
Okay, thank you, Drew.
All right, thank you. Back at you. Stay on the line right there. All right, coming up, a little more detail on some of the Supreme Court decisions from yesterday. Pretty important stuff. And even some on Merrick Garland. If you missed all the audio and missed what's going on there with the nominee for Attorney General, we'll play it coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra-low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
Mason Classical Academy is excited to announce that they are under contract to purchase a high school campus site in North Naples. Conveniently located near I-75 and Immokalee Road, MCA seeks to open this college prep high school campus in the fall of 2021. Available tuition-free to all families, regardless of income or zip code. Mason Classical Academy's proven track record is in high demand, and this new North Naples High School campus will allow more students to receive the successful and proven model of education. The MCA North Naples campus is second to none, including fully equipped science labs, modern computer labs, and college-style classrooms. Instead of focusing on state testing, they teach students how to think, not what to think. And MCA education promotes patriotism and a true understanding of history. Do you crave such an education for your high schooler? If so, Mason Classical Academy is the answer. Learn the true, do the good, love the beautiful. Sign up to reserve a seat for your child by visiting masonacademy.com today.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
500,000 deaths and counting. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We have to resist viewing each life as a statistic or a blur or on the news.
President Biden held a moment of silence, and candles were lit at the White House to remember the 500,000 COVID victims in the U.S., while the president urged us to stay vigilant.
Stay socially distanced, to mask up, get vaccinated when it's your turn.
The number of new coronavirus cases remains much lower, only topping 100,000 twice in the past 2 weeks, 56,000 reported yesterday. House Democrats advanced the president's $1.9 billion COVID financial aid bill out of committee with no Republican support. Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy.
This is supposed to be a COVID bill. Only 9% of it goes to COVID.
It does include more direct payments to Americans and extra and enhanced unemployment benefits. In 2 hours,
hearings start today into who knew what when about the Capitol Hill riot last month. The Senate Homeland Security Committee will be hearing from former Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund, the former sergeants at arms for both the House and Senate, as well as former D.C. Acting Police Chief Robert Conti.
That's Fox's Jill Nato. He stirred up controversy in life. And now 6 days after conservative talk radio icon Rush Limbaugh died, there is controversy over his remembrance in Florida, where Fox's Eben Brown is live.
Yeah, Dave, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is ordering all state offices to lower their flags to have staff honoring late conservative Rush Limbaugh for being a legend. But Florida's Commissioner of Agriculture and Consumer Services is telling all agencies and offices in her department to ignore that order. Commissioner Nikki Fried, the lone Democrat to hold statewide office in Florida and thought to be a challenger to DeSantis' reelection, calls the order political. Dave?
America's listening to Fox News.
Heard the good Wink News traffic.
A crash on the interstate near Corkscrew Road is slowing traffic on I-75 starting from Alico. We're at a creep and crawl southbound all the way to Corkscrew. Avoid the interstate. 3 Oaks or 41 your alternates. Also, a crash in Collier at Immokalee Road near Wild Turkey Drive is slowing traffic south to Oilwell. Everglades Boulevard is still up to speed as the alternate. And that crash at Wilson and Golden Gate Boulevard causing about 1 mile of creep and crawl slowdowns heading west on Golden Gate towards the intersection of Wilson Road. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Few showers will be possible early on into the day, but eventually they roll out, drier air moves in, and we finish the day with a lot of sunshine. Temperatures in the 80s today, tomorrow, where a few more isolated showers are possible, but nothing too widespread. Mostly sunny with those spring-like 80s for your Thursday, and even warmer as we look ahead to the weekend. Beach, pool, absolutely. Mixture of sunshine and clouds with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers. because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency for storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get the third free. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
How many client portfolios is your investment advisor responsible for? Is yours one of hundreds? Or perhaps your financial institution has just been acquired by yet another firm, and the team you've known for years is suddenly gone. At the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company and its division, the Naples Trust Company, our portfolio management team is local and care for a proper ratio of account relationships designed to give you the highest possible attention and an asset allocation that is best for you and your goals. Another key factor is that all of our employees are owners in the trust company through an employee stock ownership plan. So we have no interest in being acquired, and more importantly, we have a vested interest in seeing our clients as happy as we are. Are you ready for a better experience? Contact us at the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company or the Naples Trust Company. Visit sancaptrustco.com to discover the difference.
Not FDIC insured. All investments involve risk and are not guaranteed.
In choosing the law firm to represent you, pick a firm that's been around a long time. I've seen so many come and go. And pick a firm with the financial strength to give you the best chance to be fully compensated. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Whether it's a car crash case or an insurance dispute, you need a firm which can match the other side dollar for dollar. Let us fight for you. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell. Pound law, that's all. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're joining us today. 239-479-5592. That is the talk and text line. We stream live each and every day. If you want to watch, we are with you at drewsteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. It's mobile friendly, great for your smart device, your computer, and also if you want to go to YouTube or Facebook, that's fine. That would be at Drew Steele Radio, so you can go there right now if you would like to watch. So happy to have Zach Smith joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, a legal fellow with the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org, a great website, because I got a lot of questions, Zach. I got a lot of questions this morning. I hope you're ready for me. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Drew. How are you?
I'm all right. Again, seems like every time I have you on, I'm feisty. I'm feisty, Zach, because I'm not pleased. Maybe I'm wrong. That's why I have you here. Let's go down a couple of things that are going on. First of all, a couple of Supreme Court decisions. I'm confused, Zach. Help me out with this. Why is it that we can't get the highest court in the land to agree, whether it was before the election or after the election, to hear a case that has to do with something so fundamental to our Constitution and the rule of law in this country, that if we can't get it from them, then where do we go? And having said all of that, set up what happened.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Drew. You know, unfortunately, yesterday, the Supreme Court declined, finally, to hear any of the election-related disputes out of Pennsylvania. You know, if you and your listeners think back to right after the election, there were a lot of lawsuits filed, a lot of lawsuits out of Pennsylvania filed specifically because the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court had done a few troubling things. They had extended the deadline for absentee ballots to arrive and be counted up to 3 days after Election Day, when the state legislature had said, no, you have to have the ballots in your hand by 8 p.m. on Election Day in order for them to count. And if you remember, that case was appealed up to the Supreme Court. They were asked to issue an emergency injunction. They declined to do it. They were asked to consider the case on the merits on an expedited basis. They said, no, we're not going to do it. It's going to stay on our normal briefing schedule. And so yesterday, they finally, after reviewing it under their normal procedures, declined to take it up and resolve these issues. It's very troubling, very sad. But if there's a silver lining, Justice Clarence Thomas issued an absolutely blistering dissent in that case. And he basically called his colleagues to task and said, look, there's no reason why we didn't take up this case. What happened in Pennsylvania is very troubling. Fortunately, those votes that were in dispute looked like they didn't change the outcome of any federal elections in Pennsylvania. But, next time we may not be so lucky. And so we should go ahead and resolve these issues now instead of waiting until, everything hits the fan, basically.
Right. Yeah. And I thought that was a critical point that he made. Obviously, the comments that he made about this decision to leave election law hidden beneath a shroud of doubt is baffling. By doing nothing, we invite further confusion and erosion of voter confidence. That is the bottom line. He is so spot on. And then the other part of it is what you just mentioned, which is, look, if you're going to make the case that few ballots were affected to change an outcome of the election, that's one thing. But we're not even talking about what could happen in the future. We've got to make a decision and know we have to make states understand, right, Zach? And this is the bottom line that I think that Justice Thomas was talking about, it, that if we're going to do this again, if this comes up again, we need to be able to assure the American people that we will take this on, we will see what the case is, and we will make a decision right now as to whether or not that was constitutional, so that we fundamentally can understand that the integrity of the elections is firm and strong, and we don't have to worry about that aspect of it, because if that's not there, then all else is going to fail.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, unfortunately, a lot of this election-related litigation that happens, it's done under very intense pressure, very compressed timelines.
Yeah.
And Justice Thomas basically made the point, look, it's, litigating is tough under normal circumstances, but to do it with these stakes under, this very compressed timeline is almost impossible. And so, again, it's very disappointing, very troubling that the Supreme Court did not take up this case. And unfortunately, may just be kicking the can down the road until, the next time these issues pop up, which they will.
Yeah, no doubt. Zach Smith joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org, talking about some of the Supreme Court cases. Another case against the president, apparently, the Manhattan DA's investigation there, and that case. And what about that? I mean, what does that say about who may or may not be targets that could be political? I mean, I hate to put it that way, but it almost feels as if it doesn't stop, Zach. It just keeps going. It until you get the result that you want. It's sort of like that feeling that many people get when there is something that is going on that's going to be, let's say, going against the former president or going against a group or individuals, that, man, if you just get the right judges, just get the right person. You get the right person and you can take this to who knows how far you can take it, even if what you're doing is political.
Well, Donald Trump, now the former president, certainly is facing investigations by a number of different entities, state entities. New York, the Manhattan District Attorney is investigating. Yeah. There's rumors that the Fulton County District Attorney in Georgia is investigating him right now. And so, I think this will be something that former President Trump is going to have to deal with, for at least the foreseeable future as these investigations continue.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye on that, certainly. One of the other things I wanted to talk to you about this morning was maybe your take on Merrick Garland and the hearing there and some of the things that are going on with that. And I think the importance of, even when we're talking about an attorney general and nonpartisan that we would like to see them being, that when we bring up these cases that could be come before an attorney general, how important it's going to be to be able to know that justices, judges that could hear certain cases that may come before them, whether it's immigration issues or whether it's even something that would happen against the Capitol building on January 6th, if some of these cases are going to be, to maybe talk about what could be happening now in the foreseeable future with some of these very important issues and how they will be presented.
Sure. Well, Merrick Garland is not the most radical Biden DOJ nominee, not by any stretch. That dubious distinction goes to Vanita Gupta and Kristen Clark, who are nominated for other very high-ranking DOJ appointments. And so certainly pay attention whenever they are going through the confirmation process, because they have very radical, very troubling views. But, two things did stand out to me yesterday at the Merrick Garland hearing, two troubling things. The first is, if you think back, what's been happening out in Portland in the Northwest and what's currently happening there with Antifa, the riots, the attacks on the federal courthouses and federal buildings in Portland, for instance, Merrick Garland was asked whether he would consider that to be domestic terrorism, and he said he would not because the courthouses were being attacked at night. Certainly that seems like a very hyper-technical, very legalistic distinction, and it may not take into account all of the facts. Judges, clerks, staff, they frequently work late, work at night. And so that answer was troubling to some degree. And then the other troubling answer that came out of the confirmation hearing was Merrick Garland was asked about his views on the death penalty. Very contentious issue, very much in the news right now. There's been a suggestion that Joe Biden should commute the death sentences of everyone currently on federal death row. Merrick Garland said he obviously, it's within the president's power to do that. He has been troubled by the death penalty in the past and would certainly, need to look into the issue further. And so I think those two answers were troubling. Certainly, no one disputes Merrick Garland, has had a very distinguished career. Disagree with him on many issues, but, certainly distinguished career. But those two answers in particular, I found troubling during his confirmation hearing.
Yeah, and I might make the case, and maybe you can speak to this directly as well, Zach, which is it goes back to the SCOTUS decision with the Pennsylvania case to say that, because this is what I hear, and you probably hear the same thing as well, which is if Merrick Garland's going to look at a federal courthouse that they literally were trying to burn to the ground and trying to destroy with people inside that building. It's not like the building was empty. And to kind of make this case, if you will, that, what happened on January 6th, this breach of the Capitol, certainly is domestic terrorism, extremism. But the other one isn't, because of what you said and how he described it as, there are no cases that were being heard during at night. So there's a difference there. I think the frustrating part of it is, what's the recourse? What were to happen if over the summer, let's say next year, he's the attorney general, and now we have a situation happening like that, and it's clear to many and blatant that this is what's going on. It's another federal courthouse. It's another extremist group that is doing this to the building. If that were to happen, and people, just with common sense, Zach, just common sense says this is a problem, and you have an attorney general that looks at it a different way, then that's the fundamental question that people ask me is, what recourse do we have? Where does this go? How do we fight against something that seems so clearly obvious that is a problem?
Yeah, it's a great question without a clear answer. Unfortunately, if Congress thought that his actions rose to a high crime and misdemeanor, they could impeach him, could remove him from office. Yeah. But, that's certainly unlikely in the current political climate. And I think it really highlights, the important point that elections have consequences, and that, policies and personnel are set as a result of it. And so the best thing that everyone can do is, really call, their representatives, their senators, the White House, let them know that they disagree with this policy, and, put pressure on our elected officials to to do the right thing and to take the appropriate course of action.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And that's why, for me, I think even in cases, whether it's Merrick Garland and how he's talking about specific issues relating to his position as Attorney General, or even in the Supreme Court and what happened, I think that when you have decisive, clear, succinct answers to questions that could very well come up that are obvious, and people that will be willing to hear cases and hear things and articulate why decisions were made that we can all agree make sense, that's why it's so important that we have that. Because when we don't, and it's vague, and it looks clear that there is something else going on, there's nothing else you can say except it's political, and that's a huge problem. That is a huge problem. But
right. I absolutely agree. And Merrick Garland said he wants to restore, impartiality to the Department of Justice, take politics, out of the department. I certainly hope he stays true to his word, that, he won't interfere with any of the ongoing sensitive investigations going on.
Right.
Obviously, John Durham's work, obviously with the investigation into Hunter Biden. And so he was asked about that, said he would, take politics out of the department, enforce the rule of law even-handedly, again, with subordinates like, Vanita Gupta, Kristen Clark. I'm skeptical, but I'm certainly hopeful that he stays true to his word.
Yeah. All right, Zach Smith, great to have you on once again, legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org, a fantastic website and resource, and check out Zach's work as well, and we look forward to having him on once again. All right, my friend, all the best. We'll see you soon, okay?
Great. Thanks so much, Drew. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
239-479-5592. It's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. All right, let's find out what's happening with traffic right now. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is still slow on I-75 from a crash near Corkscrew. The slowdown starts south of Alico, so just stick to 3 Oaks or 41 to avoid it. Also, slowdowns on Corkscrew Road, almost about 2 miles. If you're heading west of Bellaterra towards the interstate, you'll need to give yourself a lot of extra time. And Immokalee Road is very slow right now, almost 1.5 miles of traffic flowing at about 5 miles per hour. If you're heading west towards Logan, go ahead and stick to Vanderbilt Beach. That's the best alternate. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Few showers early, but then eventually becoming sunnier, lower humidity, temperatures for today into the 80s. Enjoy your Tuesday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7.
92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
There is nothing that changes as much as tax law. After all, there have been tax changes, stimulus dollars, changes on the changes, but they're all meant to put more money in your pocket. Don't make a mistake that could cost you thousands. Let EG Tax be your tax interpreter and guide. Come join the EG Tax family at their Naples office across from Tamiami Ford. Call 239-262-2009. That's 262-2009. Or click egtax.com. That's egtax.com.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. After the crash, call the police and document the scene by taking photos of all the vehicles involved. If you were injured, get medical attention as soon as possible. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
We're honest and true, and we're here to serve you. The National Exterminators.
Who can deliver the best pest control service for my money? And how much is it? National Exterminators, guaranteed. With most service plans at just $46. You gotta give them a call.
How much?
$46. In business for over 40 years, National Exterminators is a local family-owned business. National Exterminators' pledge to you is to always provide the highest level of service, guaranteed.
Wait, how much?
Yeah, $46.
Don't pay more than $46. Now's the time to switch and save. Just call 46 No Bug. That's 46 No Bug. They'll clean it up, seal it up, and make sure your home is pest-free and comfortable. Call them at 239-46 No Bug or go to pestcontrolmadeeasy.com. Yes, just $46.
We're honest and true, and we're here to serve you. The National Exterminators.
trust. It's not a concept, it's a commitment.
Reliable and honest every single day.
At Wink News, we're committed to reporting the news that matters for you.
Thank you for trusting Wink News. This is a big story.
And that affects you.
We're coming to you live.
Because if we're asking for your trust, we will continue our commitment to be trustworthy.
The reason people trust us is the people that work here.
With 6 decades in the community, trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
An aspiring fighter trolled on the internet.
They made fun of my weight, said that I'm a pedophile.
But is he really a victim?
You say you have to have social media for your career. You don't have a career.
He's never had a fight himself.
Or is he living in a fantasy world?
This is big time to me. I've made it.
You are delusional.
I'm not saying I'm rich.
Yes, you are. You're flashing cash and sitting in a limo.
New Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, today at 5 on WXCW.
Hey, Dave, what's going on with your sink? It's full of water.
Really slow to drain.
You tried all the...
Yes, I've tried all the...
Just asking.
It gets worse and worse.
So maybe...
Now the downstairs sink is slow, too. I don't dare flush the toilet.
Dave...
What's the point of having running water if it doesn't run out again?
Dave...
I might as well give up on indoor plumbing completely, build an outhouse, and haul water up from the river in a bucket!
Dave! So... what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Okay, I make one call, someone comes out and gets the water moving again, and things go back to normal.
That's best?
Well, yeah, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 plumbing trucks standing by, waiting for last-minute calls.
Right now?
Right now.
I don't need to build an outhouse?
It's a little chilly this time of year.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
Indoor plumbing is a miracle, isn't it?
Yeah, only when it's working.
Oh, man.
Hannity at 3 and Drive Home with Trey Radel at 5. Now, back to Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I have to tell you that I was very surprised to find out that that we had a landing on Mars the other day. Were you surprised about that? Am I the only one that felt like I was in a vacuum? I'm trying to think of an analogy to make. I literally, I hate saying literally. Got to stop doing that. My son is doing that now at the kitchen table. My son says, so I was literally with my friends outside. I said, oh gosh, look what I've done. Look what I've done. He's 12 and he's using the word literally when he's describing things. Oh, stop it. Valuable lesson, kids. Don't do drugs. So I didn't know. I had no idea I didn't hear anything on the news. Did you? You knew this. I'm asking Jake. Of course you knew.
I knew.
And I feel bad because when it happened and everybody was like, woo, and they were cheering and it was on Twitter. And I was like, nobody told me. I didn't know. I've been so unplugged from anything other than, I guess, the big headlines of the day. And that wasn't one of them, that I didn't know it was happening. And then, we got these pictures. And have you seen some of the pictures from Mars?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. That's where we are now. Is it weird? Are you like that? 239-479-5592. We had we put something on Mars. It's on the planet. It's sitting there. It's taking pictures. It's communicating with us. And the reaction from most people is, oh, look at the nice pictures. Oh, look at the sound, the audio of. Oh, that's cool.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
This is Lois. At Wink News, we're on the phone. We're on the beat. We're on the scene.
We're working every angle. We're working for you.
From breaking news to the Weather Authority.
More than 60 years of reporting excellence is a reputation earned. How do we do what we do?
Sorry, I can't talk right now.
Sorry, I'm too busy. We tell you how we're doing it.
Sorry, I'm on assignment right now. I'm on a deadline.
If we weren't so busy doing it.
Getting it first, getting it right.
Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
Next, Rachel.
It's pouring snow. You guys, I went surfing this morning.
Hang 10 with Freddie Prinze Jr.
What are you making? I might do some fried chicken. I'll be doing double cardio today before I go to the grocery store.
Then, have commitment issues?
You just peel it off.
We're talking the DIY kind. Two innovators pull off endless tricks.
My gosh!
Isn't it so cool? Plus, Pinky promise you'll make this pasta night. Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that a lady recently complained that she did not like my commercial about the guy spitting chewing tobacco. She said that sound made her sick. I asked her what she thought about my commercial of Bart the donkey, and she went... Either way, a special thanks to over 4,000 wonderful people who did respond to Papa's wacky commercials and making this past year our biggest, most profitable year in over 30 years. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Kerry, and Cody, we invite you to call Papa for our free tile roof inspection. If we find needed repairs, we'll do our best to make it affordable. Let us show you how we can clean and seal your tile roof, pavers, and pool decks the eco-friendly way, and it's cleaner, safer, and lasts longer. We promise to keep the donkey off your roof. Call me, Papa, for our free tile roof inspection. 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Remember, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7. License number CCC 1326213.
Let Naples Shutter enhance your home's beauty and increase its value. From our legendary all-wood plantation shutters, made right here in Naples for over 40 years, to luxurious blinds and shades, to the unique island appeal of Bahama shutters, Naples Shutter has you covered with a lifetime guarantee and over 40,000 satisfied customers. Call 239-566-8161 today for a free estimate. That's 239-566-8161 or visit naplesshutter.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden marks 500,000 American coronavirus deaths with an address at the White House telling those who've lost someone.
The day will come when the memory of the loved one you lost will bring a smile to your lips before a tear to your eye. It will come, I promise you. My prayer for you, though, is that day will come sooner rather than later.
There was a moment of silence and a vigil outside with 500 lit candles lining the White House South Portico. Facebook ends a ban on news on its pages in Australia.
News articles were knocked out last week in a surprise escalation to a long-running dispute with the Australian government.
Facebook has refriended Australia.
Australian Treasury Chief Josh Frydenberg says the two sides have reached a compromise, but the government insists it is sticking with plans that would force Facebook to pay for media content.
Fox's Simon Owen. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News Traffic.
Traffic is still slow on I-75 from a crash near Corkscrew. The slowdown starts south of Alico, so just stick to 3 Oaks or 41 to avoid it. Also, slowdowns on Corkscrew Road, almost about 2 miles. If you're heading west of Bellaterra towards the interstate, you'll need to give yourself a lot of extra time. And Immokalee Road is very slow right now, almost 1.5 miles of traffic flowing at about 5 miles per hour. If you're heading west towards Logan, go ahead and stick to Vanderbilt Beach. That's the best alternate. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Few showers will be possible early on into the day, but eventually they roll out, drier air moves in, and we finish the day with a lot of sunshine. Temperatures in the 80s today, tomorrow, where a few more isolated showers are possible, but nothing too widespread. Mostly sunny with those spring-like 80s for your Thursday, and even warmer as we look ahead to the weekend. Beach, pool, absolutely. Mixture of sunshine and clouds with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomato's sports page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Stevie Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
Welcome to Smart Floors. For a limited time, Smart Floors is offering contractor pricing on all CoreTech vinyl luxury flooring. CoreTech, normally priced at $3.99 a square foot, is yours for only $2.99. And CoreTech, that's $5.99, is now only $4.49. No gimmicks, no hassles, just smart service at a smart price. In Naples, next to Home Goods in the Park Shore Plaza.
When shopping for new floor, we stand for so much more. Smart service, smart prices, Smart Floors.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is Lois. At Wink News, we're on the phone. We're on the beat. We're on the scene.
We're working every angle. We're working for you.
From breaking news to the Weather Authority.
More than 60 years of reporting excellence is a reputation earned. How do we do what we do?
Sorry, I can't talk right now.
Sorry, I'm too busy. We tell you how we're doing it.
Sorry, I'm on assignment right now. I'm on a deadline.
If we weren't so busy doing it.
Getting it first, getting it right.
Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
I am a secret designer on the next Drew Barrymore show. Design ideas from Nate Berkus and Jeremiah Brett. Plus,
I don't think I've laughed that hard.
Kristen Wiig and the cast of Barb and Star.
And we're rolling in cold, wet sand. It's like Jamie Dornan doesn't have his shirt on.
Jamie, you just fit right in. All new Drew.
Drew, today at 3 on Wink.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Dave right, 92.5 Fox News. Man, I got a lot of audio I want to play, and I don't know where to start. I thought today was going to be a kind of slow audio day, and it turns out now I have more than... I wanted to play the Joe Biden audio who once said he was arrested at the Capitol for trespassing and sitting in the Senate office chair. Did you hear about that? I don't know. I mean, I'll play it tomorrow. Did you hear it? I mean, it's time for the top 5 audio clips of the day, but this was like an extra one I wanted to... All right, so I don't usually do this, but before we get started with the typical top 5 audio clips of the day in just a second, I wanted to play this clip for Jake because he was asking me about it, and so I guess Joe Biden was on, it's when he had the really cool, as Rush used to call them plugs, the kind of, he's got a really great coif of hair, and now but at the moment it was, anyway, I'm just looking at him. So I don't know how long ago it was. Oh, 2007. He's with David Letterman, and he was saying that, that he was arrested for trespassing in the Capitol.
When I was 21, and I got arrested. It was a Saturday. I was down visiting some friends at Georgetown University,
And I came up on a Saturday morning because I was fascinated with the Senate. And they had a Saturday session. I walked up. Those days, no guards stopping you everywhere. And they just got out of session. I walked in the back. All of a sudden, I found myself in the chamber, and I was stunned. I walked up, sat down, the presiding officer's seat. Guy grabbed me by the shoulder, said, "You're under arrest." Literally, 9 years later, as I walked onto the Senate floor through the same...
I don't care about what he did 9 years later. So wait a minute. So Joe Biden was admitting that he was arrested at the Capitol for trespassing and sitting in a Senate office chair, and he got arrested. Hey, number one, is that true? Do we have arrest files? Can we see that? And number two, hey, just like you wanted to impeach the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, for whatever you want to make up. Hey, could we impeach him for doing that? Because apparently, according to January 6th and the Capitol and what happened there in the breach of the Capitol, apparently that is a really serious offense to go in there and sit in chairs and do what happened there. Do we have an insurrectionist now on our hands? Is that what you're suggesting from the past? I mean, how does that work? Can we do that? So there's your audio, Jake. That's what he said. Just putting that out there. So Jake was like, can we do the same thing with Trump to Biden now with admitting this? And I mean, if we find the arrest record and he did that, Jake was like, does he get the same treatment? I don't know. Maybe you can make a Jake the Millennial. Biden needs to be impeached due to insurrection from 40 years ago.
Or just because he's racist.
Okay, I know you're convinced. All right, let's get to it. Top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
Judge Garland, I'd like to talk a little bit more about the law enforcement challenges at the border, which I know a number of other members have brought up with you. Just a fundamental question. Do you believe that illegal entry at America's border should remain a crime?
Well, I haven't thought about that question. I just haven't thought about that question. I think the president has made clear that we are a country with the borders and with the concern about national security.
When did Joe Biden say that? When did he actually say that he was concerned about that? There's the very succinct and precise Merrick Garland, who actually is a Supreme Court justice. If we're going by the left, Stacey Abrams is a governor. Merrick Garland is actually a Supreme Court justice, that kind of thing. There he is yesterday at the hearing for his nomination, explaining to Josh Hawley that, I'm not really sure about that whole immigration thing and whether or not if you come in the country illegally that it's a crime. If you do that, I demur, I default, I dehydrate. I couldn't think of any other D's, but there's a little bit of Merrick Garland, everybody.
Number 4.
They're instilling fear, and that's what's worrisome here. Because when you look at the data on the surveys, over 70% of Americans say they will wear a mask after the pandemic is over. That's very frightening. We have a damaged American psyche, and it's due to these public health officials that are just really not saying the real data, probably because they don't want to admit that they were so wrong.
Yeah, see right there? That's Dr. Scott Atlas, who was part of the president's team there on COVID, and he was on Laura Ingram's show last night and saying, listen, is that what's going to happen now? 70% of people saying they're going to wear a mask after the pandemic is over? I mean, the American psyche is damaged. What have we done to people? It's almost as if everybody, including the Fauci, knows that they were wrong and nobody wants to admit it. And so instead of admitting that they were wrong and just saying the damage is done and getting back to normal, that we're going to have to now do this even after a pandemic. Vaccines, you can't hug your kids after the well, why am I getting a vaccine if I can't, if I still have to social distance and wear a mask and I can't see my grandkids? I don't understand. How does this work?
Number 3.
Nowhere in the Constitution does it say all this can be suspended if there's a bad disease. We have lived through typhus, cholera, smallpox, HIV, tuberculosis, polio, the Spanish flu. We've lived through an attack on our soil. Never have there been months and months and months of emergency powers when we weren't actually fighting a war. So this is completely unprecedented. Lockdowns have never been done before in free societies, and really we're turning into a version of a totalitarian state sort of before everyone's eyes. And I really hope we wake up quickly, because history also shows that it's a small window in which people can fight back before it's too dangerous to fight back.
Whoa. And that's from a liberal. That is Naomi Wolf. She was a former Bill Clinton advisor, and talking about the fascism of COVID, if you will. And on Tucker's show last night saying, listen, nowhere in the Constitution does it say that all of this can be suspended, that we can all do this. And everything that happened, even with the Supreme Court decision about what happened in Pennsylvania. And, oh, no, you don't understand. It's going to take, if you show up at the polling place and we close at 7 o'clock on November the 3rd, yeah, we have other people that are going to mail in, and we can wait 5, 6, 7 days afterwards with no signature and take those and accept those ballots. Yeah, that's cool because COVID. She makes the case, well, hold on a second. I don't understand how that, where in the Constitution does it say we can do that? You would imagine that the Supreme Court would have been on the side of the Constitution, but many feel like that decision went against the president and went against what we all believe is the Constitution. And that was a pretty sad decision from yesterday from the Supreme Court.
Number 2.
The thought of this happening to anybody else, especially like somebody who could not handle this the way I can. No, they don't get to do that. They don't get to make people feel like that. And if I buckle them, then little girls and little boys who are not getting any they're not getting a good, fair shake at growing up right now. If I buckle, it's going to make it okay for these companies who have a history of lying to beeline and to do this to other people. And they've done it to other people. And I'm not going down without a fight.
Not going down without a fight. Powerful words from Gina Carano, who was on Ben Shapiro's program there on, I guess it was on YouTube that I was looking at this, on Twitter actually, and talking about what happened with her and the situation with Disney and The Mandalorian and what decisions that they've made and have been made against her and others. And listen, she feels like she has a responsibility to fight back. And it was a powerful segment that she talked about this with Ben Shapiro.
Number 1.
Let me ask you about assaults on federal property in places other than Washington, D.C., Portland, for instance, Seattle. Do you regard assaults on federal courthouses or other federal property as acts of domestic extremism, domestic terrorism?
Well, Senator, my own definition, which is about the same as the statutory definition, is the use of violence or threats of violence in an attempt to disrupt democratic processes. So an attack on a courthouse while in operation, trying to prevent judges from actually deciding cases, that plainly is domestic extremism, domestic terrorism. An attack simply on government property at night or any other kind of circumstances is a clear crime and a serious one and should be punished. I don't know enough about the facts of the example you're talking about.
I just got to stop. All right, as hard as that was to listen to, that was Josh Hawley questioning, Senator Josh Hawley questioning the Attorney General nominee, Merrick Garland, about his thoughts on domestic extremism and terrorism. And you know, if a federal courthouse in Portland, in Seattle, is attacked, federal courthouse where people work and are there at the time when it's being burned, trying to burn people that were in that building, destroy that building and people in the building, as opposed to, and the same as, treating it the same as the attack on the Capitol on January 6th to Merrick Garland. No, because in the Capitol, you know, the House was getting together and they were making a very important decision, and it was actually business taking place. But the attacks there in Seattle, Portland, they were after hours, and so it's different. Really?
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Yeah, really. That's what Merrick Garland said about domestic terrorism and the difference that during the summer you could have looting and destruction and burning of buildings, and they're trying to burn down a federal building and being attacked with people in it. But because it was later at night and people were doing other business other than what the House was doing there in an impeachment process, electoral college decision that was being made in the Capitol, that, there was actual business being attended to, federal important decisions being made. But those other people, not so much. How do you do that? Well, he did it. He said it. But I want to go back to something else that I think is important. And listen, I'm going to go there. I'm going there anyway. Because I have a lot of questions about how you feel as well about the Gina Carano story and what she said. You heard about the audio right there that I just played. Gina Carano canceled by Disney, basically, with the whole Mandalorian story, right? We know all about that she was claiming as well yesterday that Disney and Lucasfilm bullied her, that there were things that she had discussed on Ben Shapiro's program where she said the bullying that's been taking place, she saw it before, not the only one that's ever been bullied by the company, sharing stories she could about people and individuals, but she wouldn't want to do it because she doesn't want to sell out friends. And they don't have the same view as she does, but she's seen it and concerned about what was happening there. And you remember that Lucasfilm and Disney cut ties with her, making claims about an Instagram photo and what she put out that they misinterpreted. And ultimately she loses that job, and now she's ready to fight back and talk, and good for her, and hopefully others will do it as well. And for her, it's about, fighting back and protecting not only those that don't have a voice, but even those that do, that maybe don't even see that bullying is taking place in the industry, or it is happening to them, but they don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to lose their positions. And so they don't say anything. They stay silent. And she's saying that's not, it should not be the case. And listen, I guess the good news is that, Jake, here's the good news in this whole Mandalorian Disney story. At least they didn't get carried away, and we know we don't have any situations where they're canceling the Muppets or anything like that. So we don't have to worry. Oh, wait, this just in, I forgot. Yeah, remember that story? Yes, they are canceling the Muppets. Well, it's really not canceling the Muppets, but just in case you were wondering, that the streaming platform there, Disney Plus, they're just updating programs like the Muppets to include a warning that the program contains negative cultural stereotypes, mistreatment of people with or cultures, and they were wrong then and they're wrong now. And so they made sure that they now they don't get rid of the whole show. No. They don't take it down. Whereas some people would say, hey, listen, if you're going to cancel the Muppets and you don't like the fact that in 1976 there were scenes that depicted Johnny Cash singing in front of a Confederate flag, and you don't like that, why don't you just take the whole Muppet program down? Just get rid of it. No, we're not going to do that. Oh, no. The cash register wouldn't ring then. But we want to make sure that we have people recognize that we understand that what we're about to play could be offensive. And we just want to put it out there so that we could all have the discussion. Does that seem right to you? Is there something a little odd there? No, I'm serious. Is there something odd about saying, yeah, we just want to let you know beforehand that what you're about to see was something we didn't do. They did it years ago. It's really awful, and it depicts mistreatment of people of cultures and negative depictions and stereotypes, and they were wrong then. But we're not going to take it down because we want you to see and then have a nice discussion with your friends and family about what you're witnessing. And from our position of what's going on, it's clear that the reason why Johnny Cash was singing in front of a Confederate flag was because he was a white supremacist. It's just everybody knew it. I guess at the time they just didn't want to admit it. And so we didn't realize that. Is that really your suggestion? Is that what you think? It's like the story that we just heard on Fox News, right? At the that Jake was laughing about. He's like, wait a second, did I just hear the Fox News business story that just came out a little while ago about how the Cherokee Nation doesn't want Jeep using the word Cherokee in the cars anymore? Are you driving a Jeep Cherokee? That is a racist vehicle you're driving, my friends. A Grand Cherokee, that is the grandest of racism, apparently. So is that what they're saying? That was the story, that Cherokee has to be removed. That the Cherokee Nation does not want Jeep to use the word Cherokee anymore, and so it begins, or so it continues. And so that's where we are. And just to understand how far a leap we've taken in cancel culture, if you're saying to yourself, it doesn't exist, there is no cancel culture, what are you talking about? Let's talk about how big a leap it's been. I pulled up this article, and I don't think people realize this, and maybe you do. Do you know what happened in 2011? Do you remember in 2011 that as the American Thinker was writing about, it's August 13th, 2011, because some states have now legalized homosexual marriage advocates circulated a petition and sent it to Sesame Street, urging puppets Bert and Ernie to publicly follow suit. Remember the story? Remember the story of Bert and Ernie back in 2011? How things have changed. How things have changed in 2011, and how there were groups that were saying, it's about time. It's time right now. Admit it. Bert and Ernie are gay. Admit it. And what did Sesame Street do? Do you remember what they did? They said Bert and Ernie are best friends. They were created to teach preschoolers that people can be good friends with those who are very different from themselves. Even though they are identified as male characters and possess many human traits and characteristics, they remain puppets. They don't have a sexual orientation. They're puppets. That was the release statement from Sesame Street. You think they would do that now? What happens if they revisit this again? Did they revisit it again? 10 years later, I mean, in that time, I don't remember. I don't know if they did or not, but you see how things changed. You know, I was just talking in the newsroom a little while ago, even about the fact that there was, the Daily Beast was talking about this Disney Plus, the freak out over the Muppets disclaimer, and Daily Beast was saying it's Fox News. They're freaking out. The right wing is going crazy about this. How dare you? It's not cancel culture. Don't you get it? Last week, Disney Plus began adding the disclaimer to the classic television show originated in the late 70s and early 80s. This is The Muppet Show. They brought up the Johnny Cash symbol, and one of the old episodes flagged the disclaimer about Johnny Cash in front of the Confederate flag. And do you even know what that meant then to Johnny Cash and what he was thinking about? Was he thinking to himself, can you put something out there that is about as white supremacist as you can possibly imagine for me? And that's what the symbol is, the Confederate flag, and how symbols have changed and how people have... Oh, look at this. I don't even have enough time to make my point. I know, I gotta go. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. All right. There's a bigger point that I was going to make, but I gotta go. So tune in tomorrow morning, and at 6 a.m. I will be sure to bring it back up, okay? Glenn Beck is next. Have a great day. Man, thanks, Jake. Should have hurried me along. Oh, I was getting to something really good.
Sorry.
I know, it was really good, too.
Do it live on Facebook.
Okay. Weather. Go, Matt.
Few showers early, but then eventually becoming sunnier, lower humidity, temperatures for today into the 80s. Enjoy your Tuesday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.